sa kalye man o mobile, you know I become a legend. Open fire, reunite with winners. Built with pressure, the diamonds are made of. Switching a lane na parang gera, HP racing, may reset up. Built like a tank, buhat ni Hilda, full load SS parang Laila.
Susundan ko ang iyong bakas, kasama patas, tagumpay natin to dahil tayo'y malakas. Para sa Pinas, nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras, kinikilala sa taas kasi kami ang malakas. Para sa Pinas, nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras, kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow!
Hold on. Yeah, wala ka sa Pinas. We are
Laging every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Pag nagsama-sama, just imagine what we can achieve. Laging every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Giving 100 all my all, cause we just cannot be defeated.
We are unstoppable, immune and invulnerable. Ready ang equipment, lahat frozen, malang crowd control.
Pakita ko na jab like pow,
East to the southeast, taas sa watawat, proud and loud, cause every enemy we devour.
Susundan ko ang iyong bakas, kasama patas, tagumpay natin to dahil tayo'y malakas. Para sa Pinas, nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras, kinikilala sa taas kasi kami ang malakas. Para sa Pinas, nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras, kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow!
Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas. Kahit anong lane, we become the monsters. Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas. Face the golden sun and repping for the 3 stars.
Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we the stars.
Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite with the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite with the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite with the stars. Ang lakas.
The 14th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 14. The official tournament phone of MPL Philippines, Infinix GT20 Pro. Official suppliers, EMC Asia and Index Salon. Experience the MPL PH Season 14 action live at Green Sun, Makati City. Grab your tickets now via official MPL PH website. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPL PH on TikTok for more content. And to ensure the equality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusements Board.
Lakas ng Pinas!
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat and welcome to the MPL Arena. We've finally reached the halfway point. Rain or shine, the hero within us will always be ready to fight. Malamig man ang panahon, pero mainit ang mga bakbakan. Kaya tara at saksihan na natin ang lahat. And let's remember to always keep safe and dry. Ako po si Mara Aquino and this is MPL Philippines Season 14. Casters, pasok!
Welcome to Week 4 of MPL Philippines Season 14, and Mara couldn't have said it any better. If you're watching from the Philippines, there is still a storm afoot, so please stay safe, stay dry, and enjoy from the comforts of your home at your service. My name is Leo, here with Jose Ingan, and we're bringing you tonight's best of 3 matchups. how are you? Has the rains been treating you well, my friend?
So far, it's good. I honestly like the cold weather because it gives me an excuse to wear a hoodie.
I see.
it.
I see. I thought it was for a modicum of other reasons. But for y'all at home, whether you like the rain or not, let's hope for safety and just that everybody is healthy and fine, because there's a whole other Season 14 coming up our way. This is the mid-season point, and you're not going to want to miss the action tonight. Real quick, a reminder from our friends at Smart: be part of the digital transformation in the world of connectivity. Say hello to convenience, flexibility, and local connectivity with the Smart Prepaid eSIM.
And it's now available for digital delivery through the Smart online store for only 99 pesos.
Ian,
Yo!
we got 7 matches this week. We're starting with 2 best-of-3s, but before we get on with the action, let's look back at the week that was week 3. A couple of core memories from you from last weekend.
Of course, one of that was Falcons APBren's Super Marco, and of course, Ogwen with a Lolita Hanabi combination for the first time. We've seen it here in a professional league.
As if it wasn't enough to be haunted by it on your ranked games, it's now made it onto the strongest leagues games last week. A couple more headlines we'll talk about in just a bit. Real quick, let's gander on to our leaderboards. Fnatic Onic Philippines still on top of the food chain, unbeaten 5-0, with Falcons APBren and Aurora MLBB tagging along. Smart Omega and Team Liquid PH at 3 points each, and RSG Philippines capping off the safe zone with TNC and Blacklist still winless.
Wow, so you could actually know, or we'll figure out later on in this week, who's the real #1 between Fnatic and Falcons APBren, because they have a head-to-head matchup on day number 3. And for TNC and Blacklist, they'll also be facing each other tomorrow. It's tomorrow, right? Or Sunday? I think it's Sunday.
No,
Day 3.
tomorrow. We're opening up with TNC Blacklist tomorrow.
Oh.
So finally the drought ends for one of these teams.
Yeah.
But tonight, a streak is on the line. Again, you mentioned Fnatic Onic. They'll be in action against RSG later on tonight. And we're opening up with Falcons APBren versus TNC. That's scheduled coming up. Real quick, let me remind people what happened as well last weekend. If you remember FCAP's Hanabi Lolita, I remember FCAP's almost hour-long bout against Team Liquid PH.
Yeah,
Tell us
35.
what your favorite memories are. Yeah, 36-something, right? 36-something.
35-45 to be exact.
There you go. Let us know what your favorite memories are from week 3 are. Here's the lineup for tonight. We're starting off with TNC going up against the Titans of MLBB, one of the two, Falcons APBren, and then we're closing off with Fnatic Onic Philippines against the Kingslayers, the Streak Breakers, RSG. We're closing off with a banger.
Yeah, with a banger, especially since, you know, Irad's been cooking a lot with his Lancelot. So
Lance
it's
God.
a good jungle matchup between Irad and
King Kong.
King Kong.
Woo! The king of the jungle.
Woo!
You think King Kong will do it? You think he'll steal away the lands, like choke out all of the picks, and then he'll take the lands?
I think, yeah, it's a statement. It's a statement for King Kong if he used Lancelot up against Irad, which is the only player, according to Midnight, who's been using the Lancelot in the professional scene.
I would not want to argue with Robert Neil de Guzman.
Yeah, same.
He's about correct 9 out of 10 times. But you're right, again. Irad, John Darituazon, has gotten this young man jumping up and down. If you haven't, check out his reels. Look for him on social media.
Uh-huh.
Admittedly, me included. Like, I would also go wild for his Lancelot. We'll see if that's coming up in tonight's bouts. But first up, let's throw it over to the Infinix Game Tambayan with Rockhart and Reptar as they break down our opening bout.
Thank you so much, Leo and Jose. Welcome to the Infinix Game Tambayan, where we will break down everything that's happening, all the storylines, all the headliners that are happening here today. And of course, this is, brought to you by the Infinix GT20 Pro. It's official tournament phone of MPL Philippines Season 14. Rockhart and Renmar here, and it's been a banger, brother.
Yeah.
It's been a banger week number 3.
It has been. It was a banger week number 3, and again, we're all very happy that you are spending your time with us here in MPL Philippines. The fans here who are braving storms and inclement weather, and of course those who decided to stay at home and still watch us. We are all equally grateful.
Yeah, really surprised that there are still actually quite a number of fans that went here,
Yeah.
despite, MPLPH offering like refunds in case, people got flooded and all
Exactly.
that.
Dude, I was already prepared to move the Infinix whole game tambayan we have
Yeah.
to where the audience would initially seat. I was ready to do that
That'd be
in the
cool.
audience area.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like we said last week, we did see a rise for at least a glimpse of a rise for TNC last week with their one-game win against Aurora. But of course, today is going to be a bit of a different story. It's one of the, like I said, one of the two titans of MLBB right now. Of course, highlighted or backed by Coach Wolf and Coach Ducky. What a matchup that's going to be, a battle of the mind.
Yeah, behind the scenes, Wolf has always looked up to Ducky for many years. There would be so many times where after a great draft from the coach of Falcons APBren, Wolf would go up to us and just go, "Grabe! Coach Ducky's so strong!" But of course in Filipino, or Coach Ducky is so good. So it's really going to be, it feels like fan fiction that we're seeing this head-to-head, because unanimously the community has said that they have all been in favor of the drafts and even the early game strategies of TNC Pro Team, heralded by Coach Wolf, Coach Itamax, and even Coach Goya.
Yeah, that's been very rampant on social media. Like people, TNC would lose, but they would always say, "You know what? That's a pretty good draft." And I like that. I like what I see whenever I read those. But right now, here in the matchup for the players, I think Kozen and Super Marco, they've been the vessels of pocket picks here.
Yeah. When it comes to the pocket picks for Kozen, I think the only thing that he trumps over Super Marco in terms of the really unique picks are the Ruby Gold lanes. We haven't seen Super Marco Ruby Gold lane, if I'm not mistaken. And he also has the Gold lane Phobius. Well, Super Marco has shown, he has also played the Ruby, there we go. But what Super Marco has is the Hanabi. So they both have the Ruby there. Kozen has a Phobius, but Super Marco has that Hanabi, which I will not be surprised if TNC Pro Team will really watch out for and considering respecting, because they're one of the teams that actually has one of the highest, if I'm not mistaken, they are 4th in turtle control time, or the total time that they've crowd controlled their opponents. And you can see that in their other top picks with the Cho, Terizla, Aurora as well. So now as we look at Kozen, the fact that he can build the fighters show for Falcons APBren that, okay, we've been doing really good with the Assassins.
That's right.
The Roger, more often than not, will end up in the hands of Kyle TZ in the jungle. But TNC Pro Team has an answer for that in the gold lane with the Ruby and the Phobius.
It does feel like when you have a Phobius, it just becomes doubly hard to play a Harif or a Roger. And I feel like that's the reason why they actually drafted up.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you mentioned the Harris, because that's other than the Roger, that's also one of the top picks of Falcons APBren in terms of their main damage dealers.
Yeah, there you go. And again, relying on the bulletproof dashness of Super Marco to actually pull it off, which has proven to be a real thing in the past few weeks here in MPL Philippines Season 14. I think Marco only died just a handful of times, right?
Yeah. For those who are unacquainted with it, yes, Hanabi was played in MPL Philippines by Super Marco, paired up with the Lolita, with all the shields that you get from that. And Super Marco is one of what we call the bulletproof players. So bulletproof means you suffered no deaths in a game win. And he's actually tied with Kelra, King Kong, Benny Cutie, and Domeng with 6 games, or 6 bulletproof games this season.
Man, our gold laners just do not want to die this
man.
season, man. I like it. At the same time, it highlights the importance of having the rest of your team actually pick up the slack, take up the damage, and it highlights also the, I would say, controlled aggression of our gold laners here in the Philippines, right?
That's true.
It's just a thing. It kind of bled through over to the other regions, right? A little bit where you'd see gold laners, specifically like we were talking about earlier, Eman going with the Matrix,
yeah,
like
Bigatron.
Just relying so much on just the gold laners just making sure they survive and doing the job that needs to be done.
Yeah, gold laner surviving means it's an easier life for the jungle, which is now the core of majority of the drafts. Now that people are using the terminology, right?
The actual core.
The actual core.
Right.
But with the gold laners really prioritizing them not going down, yes, the gold laner priority has sort of dwindled a bit because now you're leaning more towards the center of the map with the jungles, but it's still so important because you still need to win the early game laning phase, and most importantly, know how to farm in the mid game when you've fallen behind.
It's funny because it's just exactly what's happening, right? Like less reliance on the gold laners.
Yeah.
Your XP laners being a secondary roam, and then your junglers being the main damage dealers. It's just a really great turnaround. And if you really are playing the ranked games, you'll know that's exactly what happens here in the Philippines, and it really is very effective. So far so good. We'll see who is going to be playing up tonight here as we see our teams walk up onto the stage.
Please welcome our marshals, Chef Chico, Pat, and Wilford. Now, entering the arena, it's one game at a time for the team. It's only a matter of time until we see this determined team to rise up. Give it up for TNC Pro Team! Are buzzing through our opening day of the week. We are seeking to begin the halfway point with a bang bang. It's Falcons APBren! Welcome into the arena, their coaches. For TNC Pro Team, it's Coach Woo. And for Falcons APBren, Coach Ducky.
It's time for the face-off. Coach Ducky, Coach Wolf, come forward. Coach Wolf, Coach Ducky, face each other. Stare each other down. Take a step forward. Coach Wolf, ano ang palag mo kay Coach Ducky?
Mas malaki ang wolf kaysa sa duck.
Coach Ducky, ano ang palag mo kay Coach Wolf?
Nakakalipad yung duck.
Palag kung palag, fist bump. Not even the weather can stop these two teams from unleashing the hero within. Let's start the match. Panel, pasok.
Here we go, another zoo in the making here. And again, it is the weather just cannot stop these guys from just bringing out who they are. Here is TNC Pro Team, who are, again, compared to week 1 and week 2, does look like they are on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, I like this code for TNC Pro Team with Kozen, Kaizen, and Lancy. Let's just hope the TNC Pro Team, they've sorted out the communications. You know, no more miscoms whether or not they're gonna call a specific play or be diverted from what they want to do.
And either way, you know that APBren is here to play here. Here is the OG lineup. And like they mentioned, the world champions, just so that you guys can remember. And of course, no matter the weather, you know these guys are going to bring it.
Yeah, after suffering that loss against Omega at the opener of their opening matchup of the season, they've really just hit near God mode with the things that they've done. I feel like we really got to see that in their sweep of Team Liquid Philippines in game number 2, although they were tested. And of course, that game where they brought out the Hanabi against RSG Philippines. These are Titans that bleed, but they are still Titans. TNC Pro Team need to respect the fact that Falcons APBren aren't an easy team to take control of in the early game.
And we will see which one of these keys to victory brought to you by Infinix they will be using. First off, continue polishing shot calling
and decision making for TNC. Like I said, not the best start for this team, but it does feel like they're on the up and up. And I think, yes, decision making is the biggest thing they need to work on.
Yeah, people have always questions like, chemistry, come on, you guys have been playing together for weeks. How come where's the chemistry? That really just takes time, man. Like, you've been here for so long, Rockhard, so many teams have you've seen crumble before you because of their lack of chemistry. Well, for Falcons APBren, as we mentioned, be the earlier bird and catch the W. Control the early game, don't let TNC get their comfort, and force errors and capitalize on them. That's the key to victory for both teams, because this meta, again, it is great if you know how to punish errors from your opponents.
And to be fair to APBren, I feel like if you're talking about errors, they're probably the team that has the least of those. And whenever these errors do appear, whenever something doesn't go according to plan, they have the backup plan, right? They said it in an interview. They literally just say, what's the term? Group up, something like that. They ultimate defensive something, right? And they group up together and they reset in game.
Yeah.
So that's something that's really interesting. At the same time, it's also very difficult to beat. And I love it. I love it for APBren.
Yeah, and that's so true. And I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because with Falcons APBren saying that errors for them are just opportunities to make new right moves, for TNC Pro Team, so far what I've seen from them is when they commit an error, they're punished. It's hard for them, it seems like, to bounce back from an error or turn things around.
Yeah.
For TNC Pro Team, it's either they control and don't let go, or they're the ones that get controlled.
I don't know if it's just me or if it's just like everyone who's watching TNC waiting for them to make a good play or make a big blunder. It feels like we're watching their every move. That's why maybe sometimes you guys even might notice that we notice their missed plays more.
Yeah.
I guess people are just really looking forward to them, stepping up and making the big plays, especially you got to do it against a team like Falcons APBren.
Yeah.
But right now we have an update. Game 1 is going over the TNC's blue side. What do you think about that?
Well, now I think it's going to be a big contention between the Roger and the Harith between these two. But we also have to consider that High Loss has risen up in terms of a priority pick.
For sure.
Now, if TNC Pro Team, I feel like one of the best things that they could do is contest 3 heroes. Roger, Harith, and specifically the Nolan. Nolan actually has risen up as one of the picks that you will often see, if not as in the first phase blue side, as the 3rd pick on the red side.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Nolan is actually the most efficient jungler right now that we have in this meta in terms of the win-loss that he has. And the Roger and Harith is one of the best options that Falcons APBren likes to go for.
Yeah, I personally like the Nolan. Very high damage output, takes care of first pick threats like a Zask as well. So it's actually really good for like red side as well. So I like it when I see these things, and we'll see if that's going to happen here in this game.
Another thing that I'm looking out for is a TNC Pro Team, or even Falcons APBren are willing to give up the High Loss, the Jawhead.
Jawhead,
to either of the 2 roamers, because Escalera and Ogwin. And High Loss, I feel like, can be contested between these two, between Escalera and Ogwin. But Ogwin's like one of the best, if not the best High Loss that we have right now. As the roam High Loss in the Philippines, stats-wise. So another thing for TNC Pro Team, if you're not going to be getting the High Loss, Falcons APBren are going to be getting that. See, there's a lot of things floating around. I think TNC Pro Team might actually focus on banning out the Assassins, the Fannies, and the Hayabusas in the first phase.
Well, that has been the trend here. Most banned for TNC is actually Fanny, surprisingly. We'll see if that's going to happen here as we go into game number 1's draft. And again, TNC on the blue side this time around. We'll see if they try to go for any of the powerful first picks like High Loss, like we mentioned. But it looks like it's going to be an Edith here for TNC.
Oh yeah, great. The best hero right now, statistically, in the meta. So they actually decide to ban out the High Loss. They're willing to give the Roger and the Harith. And fun fact about Falcons APBren, if they pick the Roger early, more often than not, that actually will end up in the hands of Kyle Teasy. Because we often bring up the idea of, oh, Roger's flex. But for Falcons APBren, it's usually a tell that, oh, that's going into the gold lane.
Funnily enough, in the earlier...
Oh, excuse me, it's going to the jungle.
Jungle, right.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I was going to say, earlier throughout the debut of these Assassin junglers, Super Marco has been the one who has been picking up that Roger. So I wonder if that's going to be the case here. Looks like Super Marco going to go over to the Moskov this time around. Terizla, powerful XP pick all around.
Yeah, and you take out one of the usual pickups for heads. I believe this EXP lane, I don't know, Edith can still be flexed into the roam for Escalera. We still need to see the matchup there for Falcon's APBren. TNC Pro Team doesn't need to worry about the Hanabi anymore. And them picking up the Moskov makes them think twice about picking up the Roger. Maybe
right.
they might lean a little bit more towards, if they want to take away a Kyle TZ hero, they'll go Roger. But the thing is, the Nolan or the Hayabusa will still be open. But they decide to take the Hayabusa and they go for the Harith instead.
All right, very, very spicy picks here for TNC Pro Team. It does feel like this Edith can go either way. I love me some Edith on the mid. Work around with the Hayabusa, invade a lot, maximize the tankiness of the Edith, and invade the enemy jungle.
I like this Julian third pick here. So we're going to go into the second phase with no clear idea of the roamer for Falcon's APBren. And they're deciding to respect the roamers of Escalera. They take away the Cho, one of the most picked for TNC Pro Team. And when they won that only game that they won so far against Aurora, it was with the Cho. So if they want to go pick off, they'll still have it. But we still don't see their mid laner. I wouldn't mind something along the lines of a Vixana for TNC Pro Team's Lancy.
Whoa, wait a second. Kozen is first in gold share among all gold laners?
Yeah,
I
gold.
wonder where that came from.
Yeah, that's them. So the gold share stat is how much of that person has the gold in the team
Compared to the rest of the team.
compared to the
Right,
rest of
right.
the team. So expect that Koz is going to be the most farmed up guy.
So-
Long story short, in
so
TNC Pro Team.
It feels like TNC is like doing a bit more like something like the funnel strat that we saw like a few seasons back, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Where he's getting almost every single bit of gold, less to the jungler of TNC, I would
Yeah,
say.
I wouldn't say it's funnel, but more of they also just want to make sure that the gold laner has gold. Because the old funnel strat, remember, it really was just like, okay, we'll focus it on the guy jungling.
The only one.
The
who's getting-
only one.
getting the gold.
Where it's like this one, it's like, all right, it's a party. It's a little bit more democratic with our money, where we split it up.
There you go.
Oh, so Falcon's APBren, they take out the Vixana that we
Rover
thought
band.
TNC Pro Team would be good for, and yeah, they do take out the Jawhead from Ogwyn, but they're willing to. Excuse me, the Grok is
Grok.
still available for them. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% Grok, I would say, here for the pick for Ogwyn. I don't know if they need to pick it up right now, but I feel like because of the flexibility of Edith, they might have to. Minotaur can kind of work here as well,
I
maybe.
agree.
But will we see a Lolita somewhere here? Probably not, since
yeah.
there's no Hanabi.
Yeah, we don't see the good sign for Lolita.
There's a Faramir.
Okay, they go Faramis
I
for
like
a few. Valentina's still open for Lancy if he wants to go a little bit more up close. But the thing is, up against a Terizla and the Moskov, and you mentioned the Minotaur is still open. TNC might think twice, because yes, they'll be able to steal away the ultimate of the Minotaur, but the Valentina will always be at risk of getting knocked up by the Minotaur with how close range she is.
Ooh, you don't want to get that, right? So obviously, if you play Valentina, you got to play up close and personal, but you also get the advantage of getting a nether realm for your team. So
Yeah.
maybe that's something that is weighing on the minds of TNC right now. Then again, who are they gonna pick? Escalera has also some history on the Grok.
Yeah,
Uh,
they need something that can invade and maybe give info. If not that, maybe Aurora for the mid, but yeah, it's the Valentina, because it's the Faramis that he's up with.
And Arlo.
Ooh, Arlo. Wait, but we still don't know who's going where.
Oh, good point. Probably Arlo roam, but Arlo can also kind of go on the XP lane. Either way, it's very flexible for TNC. We'll find out later once we load up into the game or once they swap it out. But it does feel like Escalera's feeling it a little bit. And now for the roam picks for APBren. Yeah, Grok's looking pretty good.
I agree with you though. I kind of like the Minotaur here. But Grok up against a Haya, you can go in, get a little bit more info. But the pokes, if it's gonna be... Okay, no, it's Lolita. Huh, they decide to go for that instead.
I really thought they wouldn't.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So even without the Hanabi, obviously Lolita is your go-to seller right now. And protection is... Oh my goodness, they're overwhelming with protection with the Netherrealm and the Guardian's Reflection.
Yeah, you're right, dude. They... Numenon Energy Core, Guardian's Reflection, a lot of defensive utilities for Falcon's APBren, and this feels like it's a little bit more of a response for the Edith. Yeah, it also blocks, the Guardian's Reflection will also block the enhanced basic attacks of the Harith, but that's not his main moneymaker for damage.
Right, so we'll see. Falcons APBren does feel like they are cooking right now.
They are,
Let's
dude, they
see
are.
what they're gonna pull off here. And again, it's TNC's, rise or just the Titans gonna take over. We'll have to find out. Throw it over to Leo and Jose.
Jumping into the first matchup of Week 4, it's TNC Pro Team versus
Welcome
Falcons
to
APBren.
Mobile Legends.
The winless TNC facing off against the Titans of MOBB, Falcons APBren.
Woo!
Ingan, how you feeling? Do you like TNC's draft?
For me, I like it because Kaizen's Hayabusa. Again, the moment that they beat Aurora was a snowball coming in from Kaizen with the Hayabusa. So if TNC controls the early to the mid game, I think this could go. This could be a fast game for TNC.
I'm a little worried about that last pick, Valentina, but look at this, they're making it work. They're giving Few and Ogwin quite the headache, forcing Ogwin to pull out the Revitalize early on.
The concept here is just to get a Netherrealm for your team, and whoever casts the Netherrealm first, for sure, will lose during the skirmishes.
All right, let's talk about the XP lane matchup. You got Heads going up against FlapTZ, the Terizla versus the Arlo. Oh, wait! Ah, oh, what?
Oh, first blood. Escalera will fall down on the hands of Falcons APBren. That was an unexpected pickoff. Very aggressive rotation for Falcons.
Yeah, no, I don't think even TNC knew that Falcons were going that way. Again, fast hands and faster thoughts from Falcons APBren, even faster communications. I'm not even sure if words came out to say that we're rotating this way.
And now they're rotating onto the top lane up against Kozen. And looking at the gold lane matchup, you'd expect Kozen to dominate, but with the fast rotations coming in from Falcons APBren, I think it's going to be a really hard game from Kozen.
Not to mention the easier to activate automatic bonk from Ogwin. I think that's one of the main things you buy for yourself when you pick up Lolita. More than Edith, because again, Edith does have the damage output.
Yeah.
She does have the easier to pull off combo, because again, it's so much CC for just your first and second skill.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Lolita you just find Kaizen, you just find Kozen, and you force something.
Yeah, especially if you have Classical Oasis, but wait. First turtle up for grabs. Two teams from TNC are here against four members of Falcons APBren. Kyle TZ working on the turtle. He'll secure it, but Ogwen wants to go for a kill here. Escalera has to back away.
See, Jose, that's what I'm talking about. 'Cause again, the Lolita just stood there.
Yeah.
Forcing Escalera to make a move. Like, I dare you. Pull the 1-2. I dare you.
Luckily, Escalera wasn't level 4 yet, so the Primal Wrath is not there. And now Falcons APBren early lead, a 1.2k gold lead. Once they keep rotating onto not even rotate to Super Marco. Once Super Marco joins in the fight with the Spear of Destruction, oh, it could go and end fast early for Falcons APBren.
That's right. Oh, look at this. The suplex on Ogwin dashing out. See, there's a dash.
The dash.
There's a dash.
For me, I think a Phobius would be a good pick here for TNC because of considering the dashes as well as the mobility coming in from Falcons APBren. But again, still with Lancy's Valentina, in terms of the skirmishes, once Kozen is activated and you have the Netherrealm, I think TNC has a chance.
I think that is what they're looking forward to. But this is very un-Phoenix-like, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
In the first 3 weeks of MPL Philippines, one of the main strengths of the Phoenix Army is the early game.
The early game.
They usually win first turtle and then they just rotate from there. Oh! Escalera! Come
No, someone is hiding there, but Few and Owen will escape. Kaizen goes out, but Lancy pops the Netherrealm as well as Few. And now a clash pursuing here. Owen, look at that! Luminous Blast connecting, but there is also a counterattack coming in from Heads. And now no member is falling down. FlapTZ, what an extended clash! And it will favor the Falcons as Heads will fall down as well. A 2-for-none trade, and the clash will end. Wow!
I call that a DPZ, a delayed penalty zone.
A delayed penalty zone.
It was not at all the penalty zone we wanted, but it was the penalty zone they needed. Check it out once more. The Infinix instant replay. Here comes FlapTZ coming in from the flank. I'm gonna save you guys. And he gets 4. Was that 4?
Almost 2. I think 3. Yeah, 3, because Kaizen was able to go away with the shadow.
Yeah, he did. Regardless of however the number was, how big that is, the fact that you zone out TNC, you disperse him. Oh, wait, here we go. One more time.
Oh, want a revenge onto FlapTZ here, but he's going to survive. One more hit. The Shuriken's not going to be enough to bring down Flap. And now Kyle will secure an uncontested turtle away from TNC.
Oh, no. Now he's looking for 1. Goes in!
Oh, no, Kyle TZ. in the mix of everything here. Oh, he's still able to sustain the damage. Luckily, Ogun was there with a Bulwark Shield. And now turn things around for Falcons APBren. And I love what Kyle TZ actually did there. He didn't use the Retribution onto the Turtle. Once he secured it, no. He used it against, I believe it was Lancey or Escalera.
He slowed him down?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he did it in between the sword.
Yeah, after getting the Turtle, that's when he used the...
He retry then slowed him.
Yeah.
Wow, it looked like one fluid motion for me, but amazing work. Again, it's those little decisions that FCAP have done that barreled them forward. 4,000 gold ahead, 5 minutes in. It's not like they're even looking for fighting.
The confidence.
They just walk into them.
They're just working. Basically, it's another day's work. Going into the office, want to end things early, but of course, they're still having fun for sure. I can see them beside me right now. Everyone's smiling.
And I wish I could say the same for TNC. Right now, player comes inbound. You'll see that they're very focused. They're trying to get out of this mid-game rut. Because again, being down 4,000, it's not a good look. It doesn't feel right, especially since the last turtle is almost here, about 45 seconds in. Luckily, TNC can count their blessings. At least they still have their their tier 1s in mid and in down bottom. And they can rely on heads. Heads can actually just hold the lane.
Heads and Lancey. Especially Lancey keeps getting the Nether Realm, but the problem is the lineup entails TNC to have a successful early game.
Yes.
Even their playstyle, as you mentioned, for week 1 to week 3, they always need to dominate the early game.
They have to have initiative. They have to be the ones calling the shots, picking fights. And you saw them try. That whole sequence about 2.5 minutes ago where it was ruined by FlapT's delayed penalty zone. Like, that was a good approach. Maybe try that again in 2 or 3 minutes. Or maybe even feint it for this next turtle.
Yeah, bait the turtle, especially with Escalera setup a while ago in the mid-bush. The flicker in Earth Shatter combination. If they continue to have setups like that, they can easily turn things around.
You can try that every 2 minutes or so. All right, final turtle up already. FCAP's gonna blitz it.
Kaysen?
Ooh. All right.
He's got a taste on Super Marco there, but
He
Super
did!
Marco went back with the Spear of Destruction, but got outplayed by Kaysen.
Indeed, miscalculation by Marco.
That was a major swing for TNC, especially given kill to Kaysen.
That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
I wonder what the call was, and they eventually do get that tower down bottom, but I don't think Falcons APBren needed that.
Yeah, plus, look at Kozen right now, working on the top lane, so it's an even trade in terms of turtles. Well, I can't believe Kaysen was able to outplay Super Marco.
I think it was more of, well, we didn't see it much. We only saw the tail end of it, but it was more of Marco pressing the SOD when it didn't need to.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon. Again, I don't know, folks, if you saw anything different, but he definitely hit the ult even when he didn't need to. Now this does equalize a little bit. Shrank the gold lead by maybe, well, stopped the bleeding, slowed it down, definitely kept it down about 3. Still though, look at how well Falcons APBren recover.
Okay, recovering right now. 5-man rotation into the middle lane. A lot of flickers available, especially for Heads and FlapTZ. It's a matter of who can set up first. But Few comes in. Look at those bursters. Escalera with a conceal. Is he going to make a pick off here?
Ooh. There's not enough in the bush for him. Like, that's Few and Flap. Few has a Purify.
Not worth it, though.
Not worth it. Not at all. Kyle TZ committing Grand Theft Orange. That's a star for the young Kyle Saison.
And goes right after Kozen. Kozen has to use his Zaman Force. It's 1v1 between Kyle and K.
Oh!
Kozen. Oh, he's going to outplay Kozen there. But look at that. Was able to get the kill. And now here comes the reinforcements coming in from Falcons APBren. But Escalera with Earth Shatter combination. Fuel with a save. Netherrealm in, but Lancey has his own Netherrealm. Phoenix Army rising from the ashes as they take 3. TNC's momentum slowly going back.
FCAP is definitely looking for their cap, man. They were limit testing. There's no reason for them to take a 3v5, but they did. They did. Oh, and now it's going to lead to a free Lord for TNC. What a mid-game swing. And look at this, the Lord. Can FCAP do anything about it?
Okay, Zen might secure the Lord here. Oh, but Ogwin stays in! Master Ogwin! Now TNC has to fight back. They're outnumbered. But Super Marco, Kaysen evades the Spear of Destruction. But with the Numenum Blast from Ogwin.
That was a full charge Numenum Blast.
I'm not sure if Kaysen used the Retribution, but man, oh man, Ogwin.
He did. Look at that on cooldown. Now he did.
And just like that, the mid-game.
It's as if the blunder didn't happen.
Unbothered.
I call it falling with style.
Yeah.
They literally tripped and went into a yoga pose.
I call it unbothered.
What
Really
was
unbothered.
that?
They don't care.
I mean, to be fair, the only people who really dropped the ball here was the 3 down bottom
Yeah.
and Marco against
Basically
against
4.
Kaizen.
And Ogwen was the one who
Ogwen
saved
just
it.
comes up and, you know what, let me just clean up on aisle 4.
Basically, Ogwen's cleaning up their mistakes.
And it was more than worth it. Again, a single Numen on blast against 4 members of TNC. Come on.
Whew. Man, that's heartbreaking for TNC. The
Tell me-
moment you find an opening.
Tell me you can replicate that in your next RG.
No, you can't.
You can.
You can. And the only moments you actually pick up the Lolita is when you have the Hanabi. So
For
you
sure.
really won't replicate it.
Oh my god, add this up to Ogwen's Florin, to Ogwen's Minotaur, to
Oh!
Ogwen's...
Wait, I'm actually not sure, but looking at the third item of Ogwen, it's actually Blood Wings.
Oh yeah, no, this is as per usual.
I don't do that because I only do a Flask of the Oasis, then Dominance.
And then just full defense,
then
right?
full defense.
Yeah, no, this is the equivalent of Ogwen building magic items on his Minotaur. Like he knows that they're so far ahead that he just needs to build shields and then just affect the game. So this is a stroke of genius from Rogan Onigo, the roamer from Falcons APBren. About 5,000 gold ahead now. 11 minutes in. Oh, here we go.
Escalera finds few, but the problem is Ghostbusters is there. Escalera goes in, getting pinned down here, and Flap teasing! 4-man penalty zone. Super Marco trying to finish them off, but Lancy clutched at the realm here. TNC expended their resources. Falcons APBren got Escalera in exchange.
Amazing work by Lancy. Do note this young man has been always on point.
Yeah.
Picking up the Nether Realm anytime he can. I don't think there's ever a second since he hit level 4 that he did not have his hands on the Nether
Always
Realm.
ready. Lancy always ready. And again, TNC can actually turn things around. In terms of the Nether Realm, okay, they can actually rely on that for extended team fights. But Escalera heads, they really need to get a catch. Either a Super Marco or Kyle TZ. It's hard to catch Kyle TZ, but on the other hand, your Kaizen goes in with a Wiki Shadow kill on the view. They're just juggling the damage coming in from the Hayabusa. Now, Falcons APBren has an opening for the Lord. I think TNC, they won't contest anymore because that's a 6.4k gold lead coming in from the Titans.
And now they get their hands on a Lord that is 100% theirs. Very difficult to think of a situation where TNC would want to try to contest, being down 7,000 gold. Again, I think the doctor would prescribe just take it in the base.
Yeah, take it in the base. One defense at a time, one Lord at a time, and make sure to watch out for Flap TZ. But the problem is in 36 seconds, Flap, his flicker is going to be available once again. And so far, the flicker final slash from Flap TZ is always connecting onto 3 or onto 4.
You mean penalty zone.
Penalty zone, sorry, penalty zone.
Yep, here we go. Super Marco, the gold winner. He holds the record for the all-time highest average GPM across 100 games played. Amazing to think that this young man debuted in season 9? Season 9. It was Kyle and
They had a 10-man
Ogwen.
lineup before.
Yeah, it was
Before
Kyle and
Marco.
Ogwen who was in season 10.
Oh, but Lord marching in the bottom lane here.
Amazing.
They're gonna get an inhibitor turret working on the middle lane. Escalera pops his primal rat just to defend. But look at that, Ogwen catches him off guard. Penalty zone coming in from Flap
Numen on
TZ.
blast!
And Numen on blast connecting onto 4. They have to use the Nether Realm just to attack, but Kozen with his Amin Force. Falcons APBren still standing tall with 5 members, but Kozen here dishing out the damage he needs to bring down Falcons. Lord still alive. Final slash coming in from Heads, but it's not gonna be enough because the Falcons are still on top.
1-0 by Falcons APBren. Some moments of shining glory for TNC, but really they were in just a bit, we'll throw it over to the Infinite Game Tabayan for Redman Mataklugan Rockhard to break it down. Keegan Leo out.
Once more, it is definitely TNC Pro Team coming up a little short, right? Coming up a little short just when they needed it the most. Mid-game, we saw some stuff that could happen, but Falcons APBren Their consistency just cannot be beat.
Yeah, they just fell victim to one of the best qualities of one of the titans of MLBB. It's their understanding of when to trade, and especially what they're trading for. They decided to give Kozen a little bit more time to farm up top, but then they were getting wins in the bottom lane. And of course, with Ogwen miraculously being able to get that Lord, with unfortunately Kaizen retributioning the Lord with 19 HP remaining. It was a Numenon blast, a pretty good one, coming in from Ogwen to secure that Lord. And from there, it just felt like a demoralized TNC Pro Team because they knew that was their Lord to take, that was their Lord to win, and from there they could continue their turnaround, but they couldn't because that man, the MVP, got the Lord.
Yeah, that's a big shoulda, woulda, coulda moment there for TNC Pro Team. But then again, we were wondering why this Lolita came in clutch for Falcons APBren. Falcons APBren answered almost immediately there, making life hard for a lot of members of TNC with that pick.
Yeah, when you have a lineup that are ultimate-based or burst-based, you go for sustain. You bring in healing, shielding, and of course, with what you pointed out earlier, Rockhart, members of TNC Pro Team to just like counter all of that sustain.
Yeah, for sure. And then again, I also kind of felt what it would have been like for a Lolita to actually, or sorry, for a Harif to play around, look for targets hit in the Netherrealm with 5 people going at you. Who do you actually hit? You only have one single enhanced basic attack and maybe, you know, your Synchrofish and damage. Just not enough in this scenario.
Yeah. TNC Pro Team also fell victim to a really good early game rotation by Falcons APBren in the first minute. The Hayabusa was yet to even get to level 4, but with Lancy pushed back in lane, left to clear, it was Ogwen and Few who decided to go into the bottom part of the jungle of TNC Pro Team alongside Kyle TZ to... They weren't able to take down Kaizen, but they took down Escalera first, and they brought Kaizen low, resetting his rotation to an unfavorable timing, and Falcons APBren getting a small win there. And from there, they continued that, which is why we saw them eventually take that trade that we mentioned earlier. They allowed Kaizen to push up top, farm up, because they were trading that for more control into the bottom half. TNC Pro Team, we gotta give them their credits because they turned it around there. We saw the power of what the Harith can do when it's not a full-on, blown-out 5v5 team fight, when it's a little skirmish.
Yeah, and they actually won a lot of those skirmishes. Some miracle kills as well coming in from the Hayabusa here, and I kind of liked it for the first few. I mean, obviously we're trading some gold, and the Hayabusa going for kills meant that the turtles in the early were basically uncontested for Falcons APBren. So they were taking some trades that they knew they could cash it on in the later parts of the game, but we didn't see that happen anymore.
Yeah, great drafting by Falcons APBren. The last 2 picks on the Faramis and the Lolita. Yeah, because now they ended up playing a lineup that just looked much safer to execute, a little bit easier to execute compared to TNC Pro Team. It's good to have lineups now in this meta. Like, looking at the stats, there's one thing that stood out for me for the #1 team in the league right now, which is Fnatic Onic Philippines, is that they fall out of the normal percentile for average kill participation. So a lot of the kills that they get is actually spread out across the map. Really? They're all not just playing together. So TNC Pro Team decided to roll with a lineup that will allow them to do that in different parts of the map. The problem is you need a good early game to make it happen. If you're coming back from behind and trying to play that style with this lineup, it's not going to work too well. We saw it in one sequence in the bottom lane, but that was one sequence. They needed a snowball. When it got to a closer team fight, well, again, we saw what happened with the Lord and with Ogwins taking that away.
Yeah, it just felt like, you know what, they were looking for a bit of an unorthodox way to get back into the game as well, right? Yeah. And I felt that what I think what you mentioned, where Escalera was having a really hard time in the early game because of the hero picks as well. Like we mentioned, like that Lolita really did tear it up.
Yeah.
And I gotta
one
agree
shield.
I gotta agree with why are they someone I heard the meow meow.
Yeah.
Why are they meowing? Meow,
it's the
meow.
comment, the MPL fan
it's
comment.
It's an MPL fan comment. So scary. I don't know if there's a team that can be. There is teams that can be Terry's teams can beat Falcons APBren. I think PH again will win in M6.
We're just reading comments.
I'm
We're just
sorry,
reading
that's
comments.
not me.
That's not us. We're just reading comments.
Wild Boys meow
Meow meow.
meow. What's that called? Is
A
that
tilde.
a tilde?
Tilde.
Tilde? Is
I
it?
know it's a tilde.
Yeah, it's like. Anyway, there you go. Thank you so much, Wild Boys.
Just call it squiggles.
Meow meow squiggle meow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from your comments. Let us know if you think you agree. Do you agree with the possible M6?
I feel like
It's
we're a bit-
early.
It's early, man.
It's early, but you
We're
know,
ju- we're
I
just
like
at the
it when you say
midpoint.
that. Even we're not saying that.
Yeah,
so-
we're just reading comments. We're just doing
reading
our
comments.
job.
That's
yo.
not us.
That's not us.
So, I don't know. If you guys agree or there's another team you have in mind,
Yeah.
maybe for M6, let us know. But again, playoffs is pretty far away. And don't worry, guys. That's not from us. But you know what? You know what other opinions we can get? Maybe Mara has someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Let's throw it over to them. Maybe someone has something else to say.
We have beautiful guests here in the MPL Arena. Ladies, introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone, we are Index APBren FE. I'm Nami Sawan, the gold laner of APBren FE. I'm Nowatch, the multi-role of Index APBren FE.
I'm Ira, the XP laner of APBren FE.
I'm Ramsey, the core of Index APBren FE.
And I'm Sarah, the captain and the mid laner of the Index APBren FE.
Welcome to the MPL. And first of all, ladies, I'm so proud of you for making changes in the Mobile Legends Bang Bang scene. Now, tell us about your experience in the pro scene, being woman, and the challenges that you guys face.
So far po yung experience is exciting and adventurous. Pero yung challenges talaga po is siguro yung as a female, yung pag-underestimate sa amin.
Yeah, same thoughts. But it's already 2024 and super thankful with Mundon kasi there are merong mga tournaments right now for women para maipakita yung kung ano talaga yung kaya namin.
Being woman in esports, do you also wish to join MPL someday?
Yes, of course. I think it's everyone's dream to play in MPL stage.
Now, if you were to give a message to aspiring players out there, women who want to be in your position, who want to succeed just like you, what do you want to say to them?
I just want to say na don't give up kasi I was in that phase as well, but right now I'm here now and everything is worth it.
And always trust the process and if love mo yung ginagawa mo, you'll never think about what people say about you.
Update nyo naman kami sa mga upcoming na ganap nyo. How can we support you? What's happening?
Yeah, guys, you can follow our social media at Index Esports on Facebook and at Index APBren Esports on TikTok. We have upcoming tournaments and pinopost yun doon sa mga sockmed namin, so abangan nyo.
Thank you so much, and we hope we see more of you here in the MPL. Good luck on your future tournaments. Ay now, babalikan na natin ang ating panel. Pasok!
There you go. Women in esports, always a pleasure to see them. Maybe probably why APBren's playing so well. They got backup.
Yeah, the ladies are there. And it's really good to see that, you know, especially Ramsey coming back home with her stint abroad, I believe with Zeno Lilies alongside Taro. So, yeah.
There you go. So hopefully we'll see them here. And then again, like what they mentioned, maybe here in the MPL. But you never know. You never really know. And for the meantime, though, of course, for you guys, catch the biggest flash of Legends every Monday with We Are Legends. Also get a chance to win 10,000 diamonds in-game just by liking and supporting the show. More details on WeTrends official Facebook page.
10,000 diamonds.
10,000 diamonds!
Just for liking and supporting. That is generous.
That's, thank you so much, Emma BB. Maybe throw some of that our way. MPL Arena, though,
Please.
Please do.
There's a lot of skins coming up that I really want right now.
And I really like that, you know, I play a lot of Rome, so, you know, I like that Atlas skin. Like, never mind. All right, so for now, we are looking for the freshest face in the MPL Arena. We're looking for some Index Salon Beauties, and I wonder if those are the ones we're looking for right now. people here in the arena. And again, despite just having such a rainy weather, I like that we still have some fans.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them camped out or something in the hotel because we're the venue that has a hotel built right in. So I wonder. So those are the next beauties. Not surprising at all. They were the ones. I mean, they already got the branding and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really glad that we get to highlight the ladies of the Index women's team.
Yeah.
So yeah, wish them luck in their tournaments. I mean, we are, after all, the home of the female world champions and even the men's world champions right now. So that feels really good to hear.
And they're probably some of the people that are scrimming with the current world champion.
Yeah, don't forget Smart Omega Empress, born and raised in the Philippines.
Right here.
Cebuana Pride.
Hey. All right. So getting back into the matchup here. That's probably cold.
It is. And empty.
And empty. Probably FCAP for blue side. Teams picking up the blue side. What's the win rate right now for blue?
I actually have to double check that. But with what happened in week 3, it balanced out. I think we're a little bit closer to 55-45 now than it was 60-40. So it balanced it out just a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
But it's still not great. And this is not great news for TNC Pro Team because Falcons APBren, they're not undefeated in the blue side, but they currently do have 6 wins on the blue side.
I think they only lost once, right? They lost only this Smart
Omega, yeah.
so far.
And to take it into account, Falcons APBren have played 12 games. So half of their games are on the blue side, and they've won majority of that. So be careful, TNC. Be careful.
Really scary. Well, I mean, if you're looking at Falcons APBren right now, what's the power pick? What is the power pick that we are looking forward to from Coach Dake?
All right, so I'm going to break the fourth wall a bit. This is my stats. I got the numbers right here.
Stats.
So for the blue side pick priority for Falcons APBren, it's usually a Kyle Teasy pick. It's usually a jungler. That's why I said earlier, if they pick the Roger, we can turn off the idea a little bit that it's going to go into the gold lane for Super Marco, because there's a good chance that's going to be going into the jungle for Kyle Teasy. Because on the blue side as well, majority of the time, the last 2 picks are the EXP laner and the gold laner.
There you go.
Yeah, so for them, it's really important to get that side lane matchup down, locked in, when they're on the blue side. That's why they pick it into the latter portions of the drafting.
And I also really like that they're not really afraid to show their cards pretty early. Some teams like to leave their cores on the maybe later parts of the rotation, maybe on third pick, but not Falcons APBren. Not like that about them. Also, we saw earlier a second pick Moskov, right? Again, just not afraid to get countered out in the draft, or maybe if they feel like you get countered out in the draft, they also have contingencies like that Lolita right there.
Oh yeah,
really stymied out that Edith and that Harriet.
Yeah, so now if you're TNC Pro Team, it's tough because you're thinking about, as Rockhart mentioned, the Lolita with the Revitalize. You still can't turn off the idea of a Faramis for Falcons APBren. That is one of the World Championship winning heroes in the lineup of FCAP. So what FCAP decided to do in their approach for the draft is they take out the Harith, which means they can prioritize the Roger or the Ling. They take out the Edith as well, because that's one of the popular first 2 picks on the red side and the most consistent hero right now. That is 52 games that we have seen chip banned on the first phase of the red side, and TNC Pro Team are respecting the fanning. They still have the Roger available here, or the Zask for few if they want to go for it.
Ooh, bit surprised it didn't go through earlier. I really would have probably liked that. There
Or
you
it's
go,
the
the Hylos.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a change up here today, Renmar.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Hylos has risen up to be one of the priority picks blue side, or priority picks in the meta anyways.
In general,
in general. So for TNC, they can choose to go into the Zask here. They can take away the Roger. They're going to be up against a potentially high invade roamer. This might go into the hands of Ogwin, so they need something that can stop that. So something with really good pokes and something to bother and stop the Hylos from entering. It might be tough for them to rock Cho here, If they want to go Jawhead, they can pick it later. They can steal away the Terizla if they want to.
It's a bit of comfort as well, like that Cho, that Jawhead. But you know what? If you want to stop people from going in your area, why not Rock?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But later, maybe. Because right now, it's the Phobius and, ooh, the Natan. A Nolan, rather. Take it up
The Nolan, it really feels like a really advanced block pick, but what are you really blocking? Because, yep, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Julian. This is going to go to the jungle for Kyle.
Yeah. And you can see APBren, the Falcons APBren, feel like they're unfazed by these picks. You can see this big smile on Captain Few's face. They don't seem to be worried too much. And the speed in which they did pick out those last two ones.
Having a hard time now reading the thought process of TNC Pro Team with locking in the Nolan early, because you can't pick Roger now.
That'll be obvious.
That'll be obvious. And, up against a Moskov, Julian, the high loss, it's going to be tough. Their gold lane has to be different. This might be a gold lane Phobius, but what's their source of basic attack damage?
None so far.
This is a very different drafting pattern by TNC Pro Team.
Yeah, I mean, Aurora historically has been very comfortable in the hands of Hatred, but Hatred is not playing right now. Lancey's going to be the one who actually did play this hero as well when he first opened up for TNC. But yeah, you're looking for basic attackers, people that can actually take down towers from a distance. We don't see that yet from TNC.
Yeah, and most importantly, when you have a high loss, it's not a slow front to back, but it is a front to back. Add a Moskov and a Julian into the mix, and you need that marksman that can lock down with basic attacks. So if they're gonna gold lane this Phobius, that might not be the wisest decision. They're still gonna need to pick their gold laner. So yeah, they're taking out the Jawhead. They might take out the Cho still. The Tiger will be an option for Escalera. But what?
What? Nice.
I don't know anymore. What, are they gonna go pick off? Or are they gonna go?
Oh man, that's a bit.
That's most likely a Rome high loss.
Yes, most likely.
But they might be covering their bases. It could still get flexed.
All right. And there's there's the exact base that you're talking about. The possibilities of Rome's coming in for TNC getting blocked out. Cho at the Jawhead in that specific order. Jawhead and Cho, rather.
Yeah. Trying to think now for Escalera. What are you stuck with?
Is that Claude?
Yeah, it's Claude. Okay, so it's not a gold lane focus. Thank goodness. They do get the basic attacks. But what the heck is their roamer going to be? Because this lineup right now doesn't have what I would like to consider as cohesiveness.
Absolutely. It's all over the place,
yeah.
honestly.
Okay, so I'm not going crazy. I'm not the only one thinking that. Yeah.
The best they can do is maybe have a Grok here to maybe stop the advance of Falcons APBren, but after that, you also have to fight. So
yeah. Escalera might be left with something like a
Minotaur?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. Or he's gonna throw it back and whip out a Franco.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. All right.
I'll still be worried for him, but like, let's see. Vexana.
Pretty easy, Vex.
Oh,
he got the Grok.
They got the Grok, too.
Oh, my goodness. It's an XP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on the XP Grok. Because, or I mean, they can still turn it around.
So it can go either way.
Yeah.
Most likely a Rome Grok.
For me, most likely a Rome high loss.
Rome high loss?
Because paired up with a Vex.
It's the most powerful combo.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
And it's also one of the usual pickups for Ogwin.
What about this one, though?
What are you stuck with? A mid? Yeah.
Atla?
Purify? No, they can purify. See, even Escalera's going like, what the hell am I going to pick here?
Pick up?
Huh? Huh?
Not the...
This throws it back to the 10S Gaming Frost counter against Onic Philippines and M1. The Japanese picked the Baksha against us because we were rocking with Hylos Revitalize and Estes back in the day. This is an old school counter, but the Hylos goes into the EXP. Falcons switched it up, and now the Grok is going Rome.
They went deep. They went deep with this one. Oh my goodness. All right. I wonder how that's going to work, though. The Baksha can only tank so much. But it's great against Moscow, I guess, right? Because of the passive.
Bro.
Oh man, I can't imagine what their fights are gonna look like. It's gonna be very spread out, like you mentioned earlier.
And in case people forgot, Baksha reduces the healing received with the Tortoise's Puissance
At level 1.
at level 1. So the marks.
Oh, that's beautiful. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Throw it over to Leo and Ingen for this one.
What's up? Leo and Ingan here at your service. About to call game 2 of this best of 3, and we are HOTTOGO. Ingan, you saw the Baksha. Everybody saw the Baksha. What's up with that?
Wait. HOTTO.
GO. We're hot to go, brother.
Hot to go. Okay. Wow. Brings me a lot of memories. The Baksha. Again, the concept is simple. Go in, get the Turtles Poissons, anti-heal up against a Hylos with the Revitalize. But I do agree with Rockhart that it could only take in so much damage.
And there's a reason why we last saw it about 4 or 5 years ago. There's a reason why people don't play it anymore. I mean, what it does, though, is it... Oh, wait. Kaizen!
Oh, goes in up against Kaizen. Fracture out. But is he gonna escape? Wow, the wall coming in from Ogwen, but still not enough to bring him down. Now the counterattack coming in from Falcons APBren, and here is what you are saying.
It only does so much. It acts as, I guess, one of TNC's, how do I say, buffers? Like, it's a mobile wall.
Maybe.
Literally. Yeah. There's a reason why Baksha was a dominant jungler. Yes, but that was in the age of the utility jungles. Now, where you need some damage or CC. Wait, Lancey!
Wow, okay.
That's a Pride Device.
The Pride Device was popped there. And now this is what I believe the Filipino panel was saying, that they had to switch up the Grok and the Hylos because of the Baksha.
I thought they were going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
I think a Hylos in the XP is so much better at holding dead lanes.
Yeah.
And if really all you were going off of was an XP Grok with the, shock value of the damage, I think you're better off doing this anyways.
Yeah, better off, especially since, again, Ogwen can have a lot of beautiful setups, especially going up against Lancey and Aurora, because one of the main things roamers hate right now is a mid lane Aurora. No matter how good your setup is, if the Frigid Glacier is casted, your setup's gonna be wasted.
And what sucks even more is she can put it over herself. Like, if you get caught in the initiation, speaking of, here's one.
Oh, but Heads has to pop his Vengeance here. He's gonna escape, but the Eternal Guard is there. Flapteasy has to pop that Glorious Pathway, and Few will fall down. TNC answers right back with a kill of their own, but Ogwen is here. Spear of Destruction connects onto Heads.
Oh!
But will Super Marco go in? I think not. Ogwen surveying the scene. He zones out the members of the Phoenix Army for Kyle Teasy rather, to get the Turtle.
Oh, there's not done! There's not done!
Oh, when you think FCAP is done, think again, because now they're still continuing to clash. Going up against Lance, he doesn't have the passive, that's why he's gonna fall down. A 2 for a non-exchange.
Impressive turret aggro juggling, and they're not done. They want to catch Heads!
Oh my gosh, no room for breathing here, because they're gonna get Heads. Make it 3 for non-exchange.
Heads is rolling, fam. Falcons APBren up by about 2,500 here, 3 minutes in. Looking at the item game, because of Marco's discipline, because Marco did not roll the dice and went upstairs. Escalate, knocked up!
Again.
And taken down.
Knocked up, taking down. This is Rockhart's main concern. Like, how much damage can you soak up? I mean, I get it. That's 4 members of Falcons APBren bursting down Escalera, but ideally, you'd want a very tanky Baksha early to mid-game to be your main front line.
At this point, he's not going to make it in the mid-game.
Yeah, he's not going to make it in the mid-game. But again, we'll still see, because again, the concept of Baksha is to counter out the Revitalize and the Glorious Pathway.
It's too much, fam.
We'll see if it happens during the clash, but right now, Ogwen's being a thorn in the neck. Kaizen, because even his own purple buff making sure. 4 members of TNC are backing away from one Ogwen.
He doesn't care!
He doesn't care. He's not going to go right after the buff, but that bought enough time for Falcons APBren, especially for Super Marco. He got a tier 1 turret in the bottom lane.
And that's what I was saying, because of his discipline. He didn't press the SOD, even when it looked like there was a party upstairs. He said, I needed to farm up. That's what put him near 500, 600 gold ahead of Kozen, who's getting some decent farm, but now he's going to be forced to double lane, double time. And all this while, a lot of plates taken up top by Flapteasy. Here we go, Ogwen!
Ogwen still can escape here, but Escalera dodges that!
He literally limboed underneath the Baksha unite? Did you see that?
It's like a car driving under a jumping car. That's what happened.
That's monster truck.
Wow.
All right, well, already because of TNC's, I'd say, over-analysis and over-commitment to this Baksha idea, Falcons APBren played to the strength of the current metagame, putting them 5,000 gold ahead 5 minutes in. That's basically light years ahead, Ian.
Honestly, you'd think that Escalera would perform the way Ogwen's performing right now, just soaking up the damage, unbothered, going right after the front line. Even Flap TZ, tanky as hell, not even popping the Revitalize yet. That's against the damage dealers of TNC. Although Kozen's not there, you'd want Kaizen to actually burst down any of the members of FCAP at this point. Look at that, that's already a fracture committed.
Yeah, and Ogwen is just walking through, walking under, and around.
He's tankier than the tower.
6,000 gold, Ian. They could lend me maybe 1,000 or so and they'll be fine. Oh wait, what is
Another
it? What is it?
combination, but the Glorious Pathway is there. He popped his Revitalize though.
See, the Baksha marks didn't do anything.
Okay, but he forced Flap TZ to pop the Revitalize.
He forced the Rev,
Sure.
I guess. All right.
Okay, Ogwen, he has the Wild Charge Flicker again. Can make an amazing play once again from Ogwen.
You know what? Ian, sometimes
what?
Somebody just has to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Somebody just needs to be the negative Ned to make sense of things. This Baksha doesn't make sense to me right now.
Doesn't make sense. It's hard to pull off. Again, it goes in the concept of TNC's playstyle. You have to dominate the early game for this Baksha to work.
You have to go full send.
Yes. But the problem is, again, they got a beautiful pick off in the turtle bit. 3 for none exchange. Although they were able to get few prior to that turtle fight, there's no follow-up afterwards. See, the kill scoreboard is 5-1.
It's very 1:1.
1:1, yeah.
They're going hand to mouth here. This counters this, so we're going to do this. And then if that doesn't work out, what's the follow-up? We're watching TNC right now struggle and figure out a plan with a pick that really no one's seen in such a long time. Unless there's something going on in the scrims or, down the grapevine that only really the pro players know about, that might explain this Baksha. But right now, all 3 turtles going over to Falcons APBren. Looking at the items, that's a, oh dear lord. That's a 2,000 gold lead on Super Marco alone.
Yeah, has the Corrosion side, Golden Staff, DHS waiting. So look at this, Flap TZ Ogwen, unbothered with what Escalera is doing. Even the folks coming in from Lancey is not even hitting them.
Oh!
I mean, look at the HP of Flap and Ogwen.
Jose, that hurt. Do you see that? Kaizen presses retribution only to miss out. Kyle still successfully stole it away.
Oh, depriving the necessary buffs just to extend the game. I mean, TNC's lineup compared to game number 1 is more balanced in terms of the late game because they have Kozen with the Claude. But the problem is, will they reach the late game?
And even if they do, really the bulk of
there's
their...
also Super Marco.
Yeah, the bulk of their CC is off of Escalera catching someone off guard with the jump and the roll, and Lancey.
But the problem is, it's hard to execute a Frigid Glacier if you don't have an initial CC.
Exactly, so if your CC is already so fragile, and you're throwing bodies, literally, a Phovis and a Baksha to act as your peel, that's trouble.
Oh, look at the ultimates from Falcons APBren connecting onto every member of TNC. Heads is the first member down for the Phoenix Army. Now they're working their way onto the top lane. They have the minions though. Are they going to be able to clear it? Kyle TZ, one more hit onto Lancey. But the discipline from Falcons APBren still respecting the damage that TNC can give.
All right, once bitten, twice shy.
If Super Marco clicks, that's too much.
That's asking for it. And here we go, Falcons APBren, 10,000 gold ahead. You'd stop the world just to stop them pushing in. They take that mid lane inhibitor. All right, luckily, I think TNC just have to accept the fact and, get into the mindset that we're going to take this in the base.
Yeah.
And it being mid allows for a good chunk of waves and XP to come in.
Yeah. So right now, TNC has to watch out for the Flicker Wild Charge that can come from Ogwen, because that honestly sets up everything. That first, then a combo from Flap TZ with the Glorious Pathway and the Eternal Guard from Few. If they evade the initial Wild Charge, they can come back from this game, but look at Super Marco's damage!
Oh!
Ouch!
It was a little bit of a burn, and all this while, Kyle was working on the Lord. Now TNC bleed in!
Find a catch here, but Ogwen still manages to stay alive.
Get out!
Counter-attack coming in from Falcons APBren. All of a sudden, Super Marco is here. Glorious Pathway will be casted. And now the charge coming in from Falcons. They're going to get 2. Make it 3. 2 is going to fall down. Lancey is the one next. Frigid Glacier is there, but no more frontliners for TNC. It's just Kaizen and Kozen.
Falcons trample through. Now at the base!
And Falcons APBren secures a clean sweep. Starting off week number 4. The Falcons APBren way.
We may or may not be at a record.
Is that the fastest?
I remember 11 and 30 being the fastest so far in the season.
It's under 10, right? Wait. Is that under 10?
If indeed the numbers are correct, folks, Falcons APBren hold the record for the longest and shortest game in all of season 14 so far. Congratulations to the Bees and all of the fans of FCAP. This leaves TNC still winless in the opener of Week 4.
That's how diverse Falcons APBren is. They can win very fast. They can win into a very late game. But look at the camaraderie coming into these two teams. Again, still, I believe TNC still need to work on their chemistry, but you know they're brewing something for sure.
I appreciate the boldness and how they're willing to, bring up back old favorites. But as it is, TNC have a lot to work out. Usually I played to these young men, these athletes that they take their bow off the stage. TNC, I think there's something with this lineup. It's just the tech they're working with that they might have to work out. Falcons APBren taking the stage with the lovely Mara Aquino for their post-match interview.
Congratulations to Falcons APBren! You know, we're at the halfway point of Season 14. Let's do a recap. So far, sa lahat ng mga laban nyo, which team did you find to be the most difficult?
Para sa amin yung Team Liquid pa din eh. Kasi ayun yung pinakamahabang match namin. Tapos kitang-kita naman na puro clash na sobrang dikit lang ng mga laban.
Sige, actually we expected for you to say Team Liquid. After Team Liquid, anong team na nahirapan talaga kayo?
Sa mga nakalaban namin, Omega, yun.
Omega? Ah,
Kami.
okay. So who are you looking forward to see para sa ating next round?
Sa second half?
Yes, kasi ito, para patapos na tayo ng ating first half. Nasa halfway point na tayo this weekend. So, for the second round, second half, who are you looking forward to the most?
Sa second half, yung tinitignan namin yung Omega kasi gusto namin bumawi.
So what are you gonna do differently? Sige nga. So Omega, kasi kami din, actually to be honest, nabigla rin kami sa performance ng Omega. Sobrang lakas nila ngayong season. So other than the strategies, if you were to do anything differently, what would that be?
Siguro yung mga mistake namin na nagawa namin nun, hindi na namin uulitin. Lalo na sa draft. Na-outdraft kami ng Omega nun.
Okay, and we're really looking forward to that. Ano naman, para kay Kyle? Kyle, ang ganda ng ginawa mo yung Lord Steel mo kanina. Now, si Ogwin pala, sorry. Si Ogwin. Alam mo, nalito na ako. Ang ganda ng ginawa mo kanina din sa Lord Steel, sorry. Now, if you were to have a personal goal ngayong second half, what would that be?
More Lord Steel to come. More Lord Steels to come.
More Lord Steels to come. And that was such a good job. Now it's time to announce our MVP. Can you guys guess who it is? May sumisigaw. Okay. Our MVP is... Na-surprise ka ba doon? Kyle, na-surprise ka ba doon? Bakit parang na-surprise ka doon nung in-announce na ikaw yung MVP?
Akala ko si Ogwin, sinisigaw ng mga fans eh.
Kasi siya sinisigaw, tsaka yung Lord Steel nga. Now, what do you want to say to all the fans dahil kahit hindi napakaganda ng weather, the weather's not the perfect weather, they're still out here cheering for your team, here to watch you live and online.
Sa lahat po ng mga pumunta dito ng mga fans, maraming salamat po. Kahit na hindi maganda yung panahon, pumunta pa rin kayo. Maraming salamat po. Tsaka sa lahat ng mga nanonood dyan sa mga bahay nyo, tuloy nyo lang po yung pag-nood. At tsaka pag-supportahan nyo pa rin po yung Falcons APBren at abangan nyo kami sa mga susunod na laban.
And you know, we have a very passionate supporter here na mananalo ng 3,000 diamonds. Congratulations! Come on up! Congrats! What's your name?
Moja po.
And sino sa kanila ang favorite player mo? Moja?
Kapitan Few.
Si Kapitan Few. Kapitan Few, tabi ka sa kanya. Sige nga, bakit si Few ang paborito?
Since season 1, talagang supporter na ako ng DD Pro Team.
Oh, talaga ba? Since season 1? Sige nga, magbigay ka sa amin ng trivia na maybe hindi namin alam tungkol kay Few.
Nung season 1, talagang talaga yung team. Di pa ako more on ML fan talaga. Talagang nanonood lang. Tapos nung pagdating ng M2, nag-champion sila sa Burmese Goals, which is 4-3. Ang inisip kong magandang moniker sa Bren Esports is the Kings of Lower Bracket.
Oh, that's so nice. Galing naman ng trivia. Sige nga, isa pang trivia. Isa pang trivia dyan. Galing nga.
Tapos po yung po talaga, ang iniisip ko sa akin talaga is PH is more on talagang mataas na and need ng mga other teams like Indonesia or kaya kumukuha ng mga ibang imports yung ibang teams para malaman ng mga playstyles nila para matalo tayo sa laro.
At dahil yon kay Few, anong gusto mo sabihin sa kanila? Sa kanya pala.
Sobrang laking pasasalamat ko sa suporta kasi kilala ko na din talaga siya. Matagal na siya nasa group chat namin ni IC.
That's nice. Okay, now you get the honor to bow with your favorite team and take a walk of victory with them, all right? Congratulations! Bigyan ng diamonds! You may now take your bow and take your walk of victory! Congratulations to Falcons APBren! Interesting nga ang sinabi nila that they're looking forward to the next matchup versus Smart Omega. Pero before that, they've improved a lot in this sweep of a game. We're gonna break it down for you, so we're gonna go back to our panel. Pasok.
There you go, a 2-0 for Falcons APBren today. And what are you cooking up here?
It's not Ogwin, it's Godwin.
Godwin!
Godwin, block the rotations. I mean, he deserves the MVP. The man dealt the damage, got the crowd controls. He was always there to be there for what Ogwin gave him. Ogwin gave him the information.
Oh, yeah.
And Cal TZ said, thank you very much. I will do what I can do with this. And he always turned it into gold.
Yeah, and gold is what he got. Again, people are a little surprised that he got MVP there. Even he was surprised from what we heard in the interview.
Even he was thinking it was going to be Ogwin.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? It was really just a bit of a difficult fight here for TNC. It was uphill from the first 3 minutes of the game, where you could tell, because of the high lost roam, like you guys mentioned, like Leo mentioned as well, man, that was just the ticket. That was the ticket that Falcons APBren needed to keep control of the early game in the mid game. And as you can see, we didn't even reach the late game here.
Yeah, the Grok roam of Ogwin, the Baksha roam of Escalera did not... They couldn't get what they wanted to get. That's 2 games in a row in this series wherein it was a story of Falcons APBren reading the early game rotation of TNC Pro Team. In game 1, it was catching Escalera in the bottom. In game number 2, it was TNC Pro Team getting caught trying to take a resource away, that Scaled Blizzard up top in the blue side area of Cal TZ's jungle, and getting punished for it. The Baksha had no escape. Baksha was first to fall, and because with the Baksha losing in that key moment, it seems like Falcons APBren didn't let go of the mid and top side control. We saw that when that turtle came up, Escalera pulled it. They decided to invade up top. It was Few who would get taken down by a counter by TNC Pro Team, but what Ogwin did was that he just decided to push behind the first turret and stop TNC Pro Team from even contesting that turtle. Kyle TZ got it for free, and then after that, it became a story of that. Ogwin invading, the members of TNC going back. It was Leo and Ingan who pointed out earlier that there was a moment in the purple buff of TNC Pro Team where Ogwin showed up himself and 3 members of TNC Pro Team went back.
Yeah, and that stemmed from that like 3-minute invade. That was a re-entry. They already backed off.
Yeah.
And then they decided, you know what, we can take more. Let's go back and then show dominance. And because of that, the happenings of the purple buff were just pretty easy to do because they knew what Ogwin was capable of on this drop. Not to mention, man, that Grok, like, it felt like they stole it, right? From the draft.
Yeah.
It felt like the Grok would have fit so well with TNC, but you know what? Falcons APBren said, you know what, we could take this as well.
Would have fit into their lineup. It would have been great. And because of that, Falcons APBren were the ones to set the tempo, and Kyle TZ just had a good time. The entirety of Falcons APBren had a good time. When you win the center of the map like that, when you're roam, mid, and jungle, or specifically in this scenario, the roam and mid are getting so much information, controlling the rotation of the enemy because the roamer is providing information constantly as to where the jungler is, where the mid is, and forcing the roamer of the opposing side to respond, then the side lanes are going to be so happy. They don't have to worry about anything. They're just going to farm alongside with the jungler.
And they made it look so easy, right? I guess that's the reason why Super Marco just had a fun time with this one as well.
Yeah.
Even Kyle TZ was coming up close to towers. Look at that. He's neck and neck with tower damage from Super Marco. That's saying something, considering, you know what, Kyle TZ is a melee hero.
Yeah. This is the fastest game of the season, and I don't think it will be beat as the fastest game of the season. Sub 10 minutes. Yeah, 9:52. There was a season where we had one fastest game to be at around late minute, 8 minutes?
8, yes.
Late 8 minutes, yeah?
What season was that? 8 minutes. I remember an 8
yeah,
minute
right?
game.
And then last season or 2 seasons ago, we had a game that went down to maybe around 10:40, 10:30, around that minute. So it's going to be tough to beat 9:52. And it just goes to show, again, how Falcons APBren controlled that game.
Especially with the macro that we have right now in the Philippines, where stuff can just go crazy, but it's still controllable. It's still manageable. We still managed to reach 11 minutes, 12 minutes, even with games that look very one-sided.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I don't blame it. I don't mind. It's just a really fun way of demonstrating your power as a titan of MLBB here for Falcons APBren.
Yeah, and I think you said the most important thing, which is they made it look easy. That's what that game was for Falcons APBren. There's don't need to do anything fancy, don't need to do anything crazy. Just invade, get info, stop rotations, block movements. That's it. This is classic Falcons APBren, that old idea of they are a team that don't allow you to play Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Because they're playing Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
That's literally what some of the players say. Like, yo, let me play, man. Let me play. Let me play my lane. Let me go back to the lane. Like you mentioned earlier, like they were cutting the top lane from going back and just bottlenecking the amount of gold that that lane can get. And that's just the power of the macro. And again, it's layering between the minds of Trevor, of Ducky, how they planned that early game, and then how the players themselves actually play out the lane.
Yeah. It's known that when it comes to the coaches do a lot of things, but one of the main things that they do to impact the game, besides like what they do for the draft, besides what they teach them in terms of mentality, is influencing the team with early game rotations.
Yes.
What you're doing for your first rotation, the second rotation, the first 3 to 5 minutes. So you can see here that this time around, Falcons APBren, with the experience that they have on their shoulders, were able to trump TNC Pro Team.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about how you show dominance, I guess, and they did show that here. But for the next one, we do have a bit of a question. It was flashed there a little bit early. Here's the topic, guys. Who is the face of MLBB? Who's the player that's the face of MLBB? That is a great question. Who do you guys think is the face? Like when you see that face, you see, oh, he represents MLBB itself. Carl TZ for A, Flap TZ, oh, TZs, 2 TZs. Few and Rebo. Notably, all of them are M2 champs.
Yeah. They are.
They are M2 champs. Who is the face?
For me personally, if you're really just going to be picking amongst those 4, it's whichever of A, B, or C will be the first to secure the 3rd World Championship.
That is a great benchmark.
That's it.
Yeah, I think the rings should definitely speak.
Yeah.
Right?
Because once that 3rd World Championship gets locked in by either Carl TZ, Few, or Flap TZ, nothing matters.
All of that is possible, by the way.
People are going to be like, okay, sure, you bring in numbers, you bring in eyes, all of that. That's all great. We need that in our scene.
Yeah.
But that's when people are going to start saying, yeah, but there's 3-time world champions.
There you go. If you think we're wrong, what do you think? Let us know in the comments, A, B, C, or D. But look at this one. We got a mic check for that Lord Steal. Oh, here, I've been asking for this for the longest time.
Yeah, he said kaltok. Kaltok means you bonked.
He bonked, right?
Yeah, he bonked it. Like he bonked the Lord.
Sorry. So apparently the players use that. Like,
yeah. And I don't know if it was Ogun, but there was a member of Falcons APBren who just said basic.
that was the funniest
Yeah,
bit.
was it locked in
Whatever
the-
that was.
Basic.
It was very, very like, oh my goodness. But anyway, that's what we were saying. They make it look basic, not the player, the style.
The style.
Very basically, just press 1, 2, 3, boom goes the dynamite. You got what you want.
Yeah. In that scenario for Ogun, it was specifically the 3.
The 3.
Just press it. Bonk. Basic.
Again, possibilities of M6 and who the face of MLBB is. I don't know who the face of MLBB is. We sure want to know what you think. But right now, that is going to be it for the matchup. We have another matchup coming at you right now here in this Friday afternoon here in the Philippines. Very rainy. Stay dry. Stay chill like us. Do that coffee as we go into a quick break.
I need some more.
Man, we need some more. We need some refills here. We're going to go ahead and go over to the break room, get some coffee, and bring you the next matchup. So don't go anywhere. This MPL Philippines Season 14, Week number 4.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
There's no time to chit-chat. You will never learn. Mystic magic is so wonderful. Face yourself. Imagination is the driving force of the energy. I'm not a monster. I'm a demon.
Get 8 gigabytes.
repping for the 3 stars. Look at us to the top, no ifs, no buts. Winning any game, para to sa PINAS. Di mo matikin ang aming boses sa new level. Nasa kalye man o mobile window, I become a legend. Open fire, we unite, we winners. Built with pressure, like diamonds are made of. Switch in a lane na parang gera. HP racing, may reset up. Built agad ang buhat, we heal the full load. SS parang Lyra.
Susundan ko ang iyong bakas, kasama patas. Tagumpay natin ito dahil tayo'y malakas. Para sa Pinas, nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas kasi kami ang malakas. Para sa Pinas, nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow!
Laging every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Pag nagsama-sama, just imagine what we can achieve. Laging every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Giving 100 all my all, cause we just cannot be defeated. We are unstoppable, immune and invulnerable. Ready ang equipment, lahat frozen, malang crowd control. Pakita ko na jab like pow, beast of the southeast. So matawag proud and loud, cause every enemy we devour.
Susundan ko ang iyong bakas, kasama patas. Tagumpay natin ito dahil tayo'y malakas. Para sa Pinas,
nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas kasi kami ang
malakas. Para sa Pinas,
nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow! Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas. Kahit anong lane, we become the monsters. Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas. Face the golden sun and repping for the 3 stars.
unite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we the stars.
Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite, we the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite, we the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite, we the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we the stars.
The 14th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 14. The official tournament phone of MPL Philippines, Infinix GT20 Pro. Official suppliers, EMC Asia and Index Salon. Experience the MPL PH Season 14 action live at Green Sun, Makati City. Grab your tickets now via official MPL PH website. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPL PH on TikTok for more content. And to ensure the equality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusements Board.
Lakas ng Pinas!
Welcome back to MPL Philippines Season 14. You're smack dab right in the middle of day one of week 4 at your service. My name is Leo here with Jose Ingan. And let's call back to exactly what happened in our opener today before we move on with our next bout.
Can we actually, I think we can actually call back the whole game number 2 because it was the fastest so far. 9 minutes and 51 seconds.
Down to the dot. And it was in the wake of a Baksha pick by TNC. And I caught up with the rest of TNC earlier on, had a few words with Coach Wolf. He definitely thought that today would have gone a little different. But our heart goes out to the Phoenix Army, the whole Phoenix fam. But this does prove that they got something left in the tank. Again, they're bringing out new strats.
Yeah, and still, the first half of the season isn't over. They have their final match, I believe, Saturday or Sunday.
Tomorrow.
But apart from that, we're still in week 4. So 4 more weeks of regular season action. They still have time to bounce back.
That's right. Do note that they did face off against one of the 2 titans of MLBB in Falcons, APBren. Another throwback, that Numinal Blast from Ogwin that stole away a Lord. A Lord, Ingan.
A Lord up against Kaizen. Kaizen who had Retribution.
4 members of TNC.
Everyone. Basically everyone.
Just to be clear. And that leaves us with Falcons, APBren on top of the charts. They just go past Fnatic Onic, who still has their win streak by a hair, which may change in just a bit after this best of 3 coming up. You still have Aurora, MLBB, Smart Omega, Team Liquid, PH down in the middle of the standings, and RSG PH. They'll be in action tonight.
Yeah.
They are just at the cusp of the safe zone.
Okay, so Fnatic Onic going up against RSG Philippines. So whatever the case may be for the result of this game, for sure the upcoming matchup of Falcons, APBren, and Fnatic Onic will really dictate who's going to come out on top after 4 weeks of regular season action.
That's happening on Sunday, so you're not going to want to miss it, even if it is a rainy weekend. I take that back. It's a rainy week. I don't remember the last time the sun was high up in Metro Manila. Yeah. I'm happy that you're staying with us here. And for all of those who went through, with their tickets and the show, thank you so much. Please do note that your safety and your security is still our #1 priority. So if you can watch at home, or if you have plans for the weekend, make sure that it's clear for the get-go. Real quick, we'd like to remind everyone that if you're feeling bored with your usual ranked matches, you can spice things up with the Snapdragon Pro Series Mobile Legends Bang Bang Season 6.
It's time to step up your game and face off against the best. Signups are open for all qualifiers. Just head on to esl.gg/SPSMLBB.
A majority of our franchise teams here in MPL Philippines have competed in the Snapdragon Pro Series, and a good chunk of them have won championships. So who knows, you might be up next. Real quick, let's throw it over to our Infinix game tambayan with Rockhart and Renmar Santa Cruz to break down this next best of 3. Fellas, your turn.
That is correct. It is the Infinix Game Tambayan's turn. Thank you so much, Leo and Jose Inga. I'm Rockhart, and this is Renmar Santa Cruz. We are gonna bring you live and alive on-site information and a breakdown, of course, of teams fighting off against each other in Landon here in MPL PH Season 14. And I'm very happy to see that we have a bit of a very spicy matchup. RSG Philippines versus Fnatic Onic. RSG, known as the Streak Breakers.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing for many seasons now, and they're finally going to go up against a team with another chance to break another streak. 5-0 are Fnatic Onic Philippines, and for RSG Philippines, they're trying to find their streak.
That's right. The Kingslayers, of course, have proven this as already being called streak breakers. We'll have a look at some instances where RSG end up winning and ending win streaks.
Yeah.
And of course, they're going up against Fnatic Onic. If you have not followed, they're undefeated, very, very super of the fam to do that. And we're gonna highlight a few key players, right? Because right now, it does seem like Fnatic Onic Philippines has been capitalizing on their roamer Barusco.
Yeah.
A lot.
The man who was already confident that, and not even surprised that their team is on the streak that they are on right now. But again, across him is Light, the roamer of RSG Philippines. They are Kingslayers, but also streak breakers. Here are the streaks that RSG have broken, and RSG are looking to repeat history from last season because they're the ones who snapped Onyx 7-match winning streak.
Ooh, wow, what an opportunity that RSG has here, despite their placement right now in the rankings, to actually do an unthinkable and so far undoable task, a Herculean task, if I may.
It is Herculean.
Defeating Fnatic Onic, who seem to have such a good synergy going on. They got such good vibes, and RSG has been able to do that with the help of Light, who's, by the way, has been present all throughout all of these broken streaks.
Yeah, I feel like he is one of the main streak breakers, really, for RSG Philippines, because he's been consistent. RSG are trying to find that consistency, though, for this season. But now with a streak in their face, knowing that they are the team that is known for breaking streaks, that might give them a little bit of a mental edge. You know, teams always speak up about that, where they know if they're known for this, if they know they're strong with this, then they're going to go into a game confident.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you're up against TLPH, you know, oh my God, they're gonna backdoor us for sure.
Yeah.
If we don't lash the map.
Exactly.
Right? That's exactly what you're talking about, right? The mental attacks that can happen here. It's all like, guys, it's not always about just playing the game here, right? We got teams, we got coaches, we got psychologists, analysts, and all that. But of course, we're talking so much about RSG. Let's hear a little bit from Brusco, who seemed to have a lot of things to say about this matchup right here.
Hindi rin po kami manatalo kasi confident po ako sa team ko na kaya namin manalo kahit sino yung kalaban namin at tiwala rin kami sa isa't isa.
Ano yan?
Just a lot of trust, right? A lot of trust again with each other. And I think Brusco, I'll translate it a little bit further because I think that was cut a little bit in the middle. He's super confident that this was going to happen, that this streak was going to happen for them.
Yeah, let's highlight Brusco's career. In MPLPH Season 11, he played with Minana Evos. Didn't get a lot of playing time in Season 12. And for those who watched MPL Indonesia, he was part of RRQ Hoshi before, of course, their roster shakeup, which eventually brought Vin back into the Rome role. And now, this season, he's been shining. He has been the best Tigreal in the league, undefeated. He is 5-0 with that hero. So definitely that's something you're going to have to watch out for if you're RSG, those AOE setup type of roamers for Brusco.
It does feel like an evolution as well for Brusco, right? So many Lolitas back in Season 11. And again, the healers, the shielders, Matilda, Angela, and now he's the set man. He's the guy to look out for here for Fnatic Onic Philippines. And despite all of that, obviously, his stats are pretty consistent, I would say, across the board.
Yeah, the kill participation stat here for Fnatic Onic Philippines, we touched on that in the previous games panel, wherein they're a team that, despite them being top 1, they are out of the normal percentile in terms of the kill participation, meaning that a lot more of the kills that the teams are getting, they're getting from little skirmishes as 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, not essentially always 5v5s. And I think that's been one of the strengths, really, of Fnatic Onic Philippines. They can play around Brusco's roaming and Super Prince's combination with Brusco, but they also have EXP laners and gold laners who can play and make plays on their own, similar to King Kong in the jungle.
Yeah, the super fam's really loaded, right? I mean, we haven't even touched about Kilra and how insane he's been doing this time around, more on the back end of things, right? I feel like Kilra has been doing a lot more like late game centric. He's been keeping King Kong up in front, like Fnatic Onic has been keeping King Kong up in the front, making sure all the attention's on him.
True.
Then Keller's just sweep in from the back.
Exactly. Keller has evolved into the sweeper type of gold laner.
So very interestingly enough, I wonder if that's going to happen. And I wonder if RSG has already written that down on Coach Penry's notebook. But for now, let's show your support, guys. MPL fans, who do you think is going to win out on this match? Fnatic Onic or RSG? Comment down there, right there. You know what it is. Type it. Type it. Because right now, I would say a lot of people who are watching would say Fnatic Onic has a very good chance. But you know what? You can never count out RSG. Let's go ahead and throw it over to teams walking it on the stage.
Our marshals, Jeff, Chico, Pat, and Wilbur. Entering the arena first, Superfab, looking to keep their streak alive. You know who they are. It's Fnatic Onic Philippines. that broke their streak last season. They are here to reclaim their title of the Streak Breakers. Let me hear you cheer for RSG Philippines! And their coaches for Fnatic Onic Philippines, Coach, why not? For RSG Philippines, Coach, Panda.
It's time for the face-off. Brusco, Light, step forward. Light, ano ang palag mo kay Brusco?
Mas confident ako, tsaka lang ko sarili ko, mas malakas ako.
Brusco, ano ang palag mo kay Light?
Tingnan lang po natin kung sino mas malapit mag-set attack mamaya.
Palag kung palag, fist bump. Something familiar from last season. Will we see the same fate, or will they fall against the same foe? It's time to find out. Panel.
All right, now we gotta know. Who do you think is correct? Who is the set guy for this matchup? Both of them seem very confident here, but first off, it is Fnatic Onic Philippines. Just a reminder, they are undefeated so far in the season.
We will eventually return to the discussion about the roamers. They will be highlighted with our keys to victory. But Super Prince in Fnatic Onic, he is the player I'm looking out for here. Because Brusco has been shining, because Super Prince has been backing him up. If it's not Brusco getting the info, it's Super Prince and Brusco will follow. They have formed themselves to be one of the most formidable roam mid duos in MPL Philippines Season 14 so far.
And the rest of the team definitely does feel like they are meshing well together. Meshing and jiving and profiling 3Ks to boot. And here we have RSG Philippines, who, again, that confidence was overflowing, not just from Light, but from the rest of the team as well. It does feel like Panda has something up his sleeves this time around.
Brother, we were talking about this earlier. If you know you're good at one thing, you are going to preach it and you are going to convince yourself that you will come out the victor. I feel like it's not just Light saying that he's confident, he's the better roamer, he can set better, and that he's stronger than Brusco. It's just RSG Philippines are going into this with that vibe, with that knowledge that they are streak breakers. When you look at their stats, Fnatic Onic Philippines actually leads a lot of the KDA departments. And the most turret damage per minute in the league is actually heralded by Fnatic Onic Philippines. RSG Philippines are still playing around those objective team fights, things that Fnatic Onic Philippines know how to do so well. If they're not winning that objective team fight, they're going around in other parts of the map to get wins and objectives elsewhere.
There you go. So Infinix keys to victory, like you mentioned, Renmar, coming into these two very talented roamers here. Respect Light, single target, pick off heroes, seems to be the case here.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, Brusco's AoE crowd control heroes, that Tigreal is undefeated, while Light has been playing more of the Chos, Jawheads, and Kajas this season. Why, for both of these roamers, you gotta be the reason why your enemies need to check the shrubs. Light has been known to come from those what we call weird angles to enter team fights and get pickoffs. Backed up by, before it was Exort, and then it's also gonna be Aqua with burst damage from out of the wazoo. If you're Fnatic Onic Philippines, though, they are also capable of doing that. Brusco has been positioning very well alongside Super Friends.
it just brings me back to like those memes where Tyrell's hiding in the bush. He's so tall and so big, but if he hides in the bush, no one can see him.
Yeah.
it's just ML things, right? It's
that-
MLBB things.
What's that? What's that tuft of brown hair poking out of the shrubs?
I can't see it.
What is that heavy breathing and armor?
It's invisible to me.
Yeah,
'cause he's
I
in the
don't
bush,
see that. I'm gonna
right?
just walk in here, boop, you get set.
So make sure to check your bushes, not just for these guys, but for you guys watching at home as well. So let us know who you think is coming out on top here. We're still checking out your polls. We want to know who you think is the bigger setter. Did I say that right? Yeah, who's the better setter?
Yeah.
And right now, obviously, aside from the sets, we do see that a lot of these, a lot of the plays of RSG and Fnatic Onic has been really meshed around really good synergy, chemistry, which is the big topic last week.
Yeah, and it's so funny that when we think of Fnatic Onic Philippines, we think of chemistry. So automatically you're gonna be thinking, oh, they play together.
Yeah.
They play a la Ube style. They fight together. All of that, similar to what Falcons APBren Team Liquid Philippines likes to play as. But no, they are separate. They are gonna play as 3 or 2 or 2-2, and then one's just left to farm. Usually that's Keller or King Kong. They split their formations often, that it does get surprising for teams, and which is why they've been overwhelming to deal with.
And these are the things that kind of attribute the plays or the successes of like teams like Fnatic, Falcons APBren, like Team Liquid. Just cram him in, make him outthink or make them overthink what they do.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess that does contribute to their successes. And I think that's exactly what Fnatic Onic and RSG have been doing since they also won last week.
In terms of the drafting, honestly, one of my favorite qualities about Fnatic Onic Philippines, they know how to trade so well. They're really willing to give up some key things, know when to respect, and I like how they're respecting the Phobius here of Nebor. They did mention, or we did mention, Fnatic Onic Philippines is one of those teams that can make plays as 1, as 2, as 3. They don't necessarily need to be together as 5. Phobius is one of those great duelists in the game right now with all the dashes that we have.
And I think the biggest thing about Nebor is you don't need to always mention him. I love it. He's stepping so well into the big shoes of Mr. Nats here. And I have to give him a lot of commendation for that. I don't know if you guys agree, but I love seeing that Nebor is, you know what, he's meshing well, and he also is confident as a kid of his own right, of the play.
Smart kid. Panda really knows how to develop, and pretty much a lot of coaches in the Philippines know how to develop their EXP laners. 100%. I like this Moskov ban out by Fnatic Onic Philippines because, again, it is one of those heroes that deal well with the Fnatic Onic Philippines playstyle. We know how Moskov can just split a map. You can go for a 4-1 rotation around an objective. The Moskov is the one splitting, and then he'll just throw in the ultimate to bring it in. Yeah. They are also respecting here, again, one of the pick-off type heroes of RSG Philippines, of Light. They take out the Jawhead. So for Fnatic Onic, you actually see very tailored bans, while RSG Philippines just go for the... These are just the bans of the meta. Of course, Chip, that's his permanent spot. If not
first
there,
ban.
He's just there in the first phase.
First phase.
And then they're also going back to one thing that Fnatic Onic Philippines did before. They paired up a Jushin and a Jawhead, Jushin and whatever, Jushin, High Loss, all of that. They can rock those really well, so they're just taking it away from the hands of Super Friends.
Yeah, for sure. Super Friends, obviously, he man a few words, by the way. This guy, I've barely seen him talk in how many years, how many seasons he's been playing. But he really is one of those key players that you have to watch out for. It's a high loss ban. I don't know why everyone shouted.
Yeah.
The audience shouted there for a bit, but I guess I can see why, right? The high loss respect is massive.
Yeah. So this might be an Edith, Roger, Harith as one of the first picks here for Fnatic Onic Philippines, unless they want to go Zask.
Welcome to my hunting ground.
Oh, okay. So they do pick up the Roger instead.
All right.
So instead of the... speaking of the trades, the Harith, the Moskov... excuse me, not the Moskov. The Harith is still open. The Zask as well, but Zask has fallen off a little bit. Let's see if RSG Philippines will swerve and decide to early pick the Ruby, maybe the Terizla.
Yeah, Terizla. Sounds like a great plan. The Ruby is not shy as well of showing up here, making him a gold lane / XP lane threat.
Yeah.
/ roam threat, actually, right? For some teams. So you're absolutely correct. That seems to be the case here.
I will protect the world.
Okay. So it's the Edith earlier. Nice. They decide to rush the Fanny. They make sure not to give that to King Kong. So you still have the Ling and the Hayabusa available in terms of the assassin jungles.
That's very smart. I would say for Coach Fan, especially if Irad has shown in scrims that he's capable of playing the Fanny, you know what? Why not? But one thing we're talking about here, if we're taking heroes, what about the Lancelot here? Or King Kong?
Let's see. They might actually save the King Kong pick for last because they can go into they can Roger gold lane instead. I think now you pick up your EXP and the Roamer. I honestly want to see them. Oh wait, no, the Valentina might be good.
Oh, okay. Ruby's there, like you mentioned, first phase material.
That's why I thought RG would take it because Fnatic Onic Philippines loves that that Ruby pickup. But instead of the Valentina, they go for the other V. It's the Vexana instead.
Not bad. Basically, same disruption, mostly burst. Again, just coupled with very good tankiness and sustain here coming in from the Ruby. Love it. And can't wait to see how they're going to answer this time around. Still, mid lane picks are definitely going to be the target here, most likely, rather.
Yeah.
Valentina wouldn't be out of the question. I love me some Eternal Guard, but it doesn't not necessary, right? That's a Harif.
Yeah, so they decide to go for the approach of, okay, we're going to go into the second phase. We're going to pick up our gold laner already. And I'm looking at that Ruby pickup. Kirk doesn't have a history with it. He's actually one of the most flexible EXP laners in the league. All of the Ruby games that Fnatic Onic Philippines has had, that went into the hands of Kelra.
It does feel like there's a lot of Arlot for Kirks, the Rizlas.
Yeah, he even played one successful CC game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was them. I remember 1 or 2 CCs last week.
Yeah.
I think that seems to be it. So, right now, for the bans though, for RSG, it does feel like they're going to have to double down on maybe some XP laners here.
Yeah. So they go, good ban here on the Grok. I'm not going to completely turn off the idea of that we might actually see a Cho again for Brusco, although that has not received the win because they already have some good AoE crowd control and setup from the Ruby and whatever their EXP may be. They can afford to go for a single target pick-off style of Roamer, and they will need that hard single target lockdown for that Fanny. Cho is the only one that he's played so far. But let's see if they might even consider a Minotaur if their EXP laner will be chunky enough, the option that they have. But single target catch might be the best way to go, yeah?
Single target, maybe suppression, right? Maybe. But you know what keeps pumping on my mind here for Fnatic Onic? What if you go old school? For a Fanny, for a Harif, you go for the spin and pan.
Akai?
What do you think about that?
You know what? I am one of those people that really think Akai Roam has a place in this meta.
Kind of underrated, right?
I'm not only saying that because
you play it.
I kind of look like him. Hey, that's a compliment. Pandas are awesome.
They're cool.
So we'll float that. We'll float that. I won't log it, but we'll float it because I agree.
This is a very interesting fact, though. 7th player in MPL PH history with a record 1,000 kills. The 1,000 kill club. So a lot of those are probably Carl TZ, of course, headed there. A lot of gold laners probably in jungler.
Yeah. So remember how we mentioned that one of the conditions for Fnatic Onic Philippines to have a successful Cho roam game is for them to have the Terizla because you need that tanky frontliner. But RSG, instead of banning out the Cho, they decide to ban out the Terizla. So that's smart. If ever Fnatic Onic Philippines decides to go for the pick-off type, they're going to be lacking frontline here. They can actually swerve that Edith into the EXP, and then they pick up another chunky roamer for light if they want to, or they can still lean towards pick-off because we still don't see their mid and roam combo. They can I wonder. No, Loyi would be a little bit too overkill.
It is, right? I feel like they're powerful whether you go front or back.
Yeah, a Zask might be a little bit better for Aqua. Or as you mentioned, the Valentina might be hard because of the Ruby.
It's hard, yeah, because of the Ruby, right?
Yeah.
Because either way, you will not be able to escape and you will get caught sometimes.
Yeah.
But the safer route does feel like the Zask.
Let's see. Or they might even consider Aurora, but they decide to go for the Aurora.
There you go. All right, we're talking about safe. You know what? Aurora's Pride device is probably the safest you can get.
Yeah.
Some teams have had some success with Aurora. More misses than hits, though, right? I feel like. But here's the 2 picks for Fnatic Onic. How do you answer this?
Okay, there's a lot of flexibility. Aurora is known as the anti-assassin, but I think we've already seen it in the Roger. If ever they're gonna Roger gold lane EXP Ruby, which we
Lancelot.
don't see, yeah, the Lancelot might be okay. I'm iffy on the Hayabusa here. The Roamer, I feel like we are not seeing it yet. I still really feel like it's a gold lane Ruby that we're seeing.
Yeah. Mino Akai maybe?
Still waters run deep.
Let's see.
It's a Ling. Oh, Ling's open. Oh my goodness, I thought it was banned out.
Okay, now they put the Roger in the gold lane, so they're gonna swerve this. They get the Kufra. Okay.
All right.
Smart swerve. This is a different approach from Fnatic Onic Philippines. Because this is the first time they're going to be playing that Ruby out of the hands of Kelra.
This is funny. King Kong stolen with stolen Fanny and a stolen Kufra here for Light. I love it. That's actually a pretty smart deal. I mean, I'd take that deal any day.
This might be tough for RSGPH. The Kufra was a great pickup. You can't Cho. Minotaur's going to be too squishy. They might go roam Edith here, then XP something else. Arlot's gonna be so tough.
Scorpio, devourer of the
Hellcurt! Hellcurt roam! Okay, a la Baloyski.
Alright, wait. There's swap. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Of course it's gonna be
Of course it's gonna roam.
Against a Ruby and a Kufra though, that might be a really tall ask.
Yes, please. First of all, the Hellcurt really can't do the job as good or as easily.
Yeah.
Because of all the disruption. I know what you're thinking.
It's like you go in here, silence. Sure, you can deal damage, but are you gonna get out? Will it have an out?
That's a tough one. I like the way that Panda thinks. Old school counter to a Fanny, just throw a bouncing ball there, right?
Yeah.
Beautifully done, beautifully executed for both teams. Again, a big risk for RSG, but will it be what it takes to break the streak? Let's find out as he throw it over to casters Leo and Jose Inan.
Carl Rockarto, Renmar Santa Cruz, it's a pleasure to receive from you as we go into Game 1 in this best of 3. Can
Welcome
the
to Mobile
Streakbreakers
Legends.
finally get one over Fnatic Onic Philippines in Season 14. Ingan, for the first time in a while, the Ruby goes anywhere but in Kelra's hands.
Yeah, not in Kelra's hands. And of course, Baloyski-esque hero for Light, the Hellcourt. Not many pro players can actually pull this off, but if you're considering Light to pull this off, I think there's a huge chance this may work.
There's a Mad Lad strat. Again, it was set up in the storytelling before the bout. Both actually are great setters.
Yeah.
One, a more individual or pick-off centric. The other, more for AoE. Nothing's really changed for Brusco here. Still can catch, several opponents with a well-timed combo. But for Light, this is very specific for him. I mean, yes, he still finds these angles.
Yeah.
But instead of CC, it's more damage. Oh, no!
Oh, Kirk uses his flicker just to evade that. But look at Irad already showing his dominance with his Fanny. That was close.
He's looking to eradicate the XP laner from Fnatic Onic Philippines. And not much of a blowback from bottom lane. King Kong did steal a little camp.
Yeah, he was able to.
Look at this cut by Nibor.
Right now, Nibor is cutting because they were able to force Kirk to go back and recall. And looking at the lineup, again, I like the Kufra pick, but looking at the community prediction, woo, seems like majority of the fans are voting for the Super Family.
That's a lot of Sonics. Look at the action up top. One more time on Kirk, but this time underneath the XP lane tier 1. That's about 15% damage reduction, so Kirk's gonna be fine.
It's actually good for RSG because there were 2 attempts to bring down Kirk. Unsuccessful so far for Fnatic Onic. And going back to my point, the Kufra actually answers 2 problems for Fnatic Onic. The Harith and the Fanny because of the bouncing ball.
Oh, yeah. Now check it out. RSG looking to steal away. Not gonna happen. King Kong secures. I think the Kufra does do well against even Light.
Yeah,
this is a Hellcat that jumps in,
Actually, yeah. Ever since the revamp of Hellcurt.
He's got a little hoppy hop.
Yeah, plus you don't get an automatic silence when you jump in with the Kufra. Because before, the problem with Kufra is if
His
you hit
combo stops.
the combo stops. You can't just cast the Tyrant
Whoa,
Strike.
whoa,
But
whoa,
right
whoa, whoa.
now, look at Irad. Almost. But still, the fast hands were able to save him.
This life flashed back before his eyes. Almost.
Almost.
Oh, and another steal by King Kong.
Okay, now depriving Irad of his jungle creeps. And still Fnatic Onic has a good control. They were able to get the turtle at the same time. No casualties so far. Again, to execute this Hellcrit lineup, you really need a good start coming in from RSG.
That's right.
If it doesn't snowball, especially for Light, even if he has the lethal ignition plus the execute, he's going to have a hard time picking off anyone.
Yeah, and slowly but surely what this does lead to is a 200, 300 gold lead. And if I'm not mistaken, that was a turtle take by King Kong. That's the first turtle going.
Okay, so RSG really focusing on the XP lane rotation here, not giving Kirk good time. And just making sure that Kirk doesn't have an opportunity to rotate, make those I'm offended plays for Fnatic Onic.
Luckily, he doesn't have to just yet. Fnatic Onic PH, they're very scale dependent. Like, you still need to get items on Kelra. You need to get items on King Kong specifically. And you know what? Even maybe Super Friends. You know, I'm looking at a mid-game spike. Really, Ling is the only real scaling hero because you can snowball off of Kelra. Look at the emblems here. Better late than never, folks. So double check on what you might be picking up. I like the Master Assassin on Kelra. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
There's literally just him and the Harriet there.
Just ensures that he wins the early game, the laning phase, one-on-one.
They're dueling.
Yeah, they're dueling up against Kosei, but now the second turtle is here. A while ago, it was uncontested for Fnatic Onic. And now Brusco doing a good job zoning out Nibor here, but they don't know where ERA is hiding.
I think it's just a matter of time before RSG strikes. They're also waiting on their power spikes and for Light to get his full kit.
Oh, Earth Shatter plus Bludgeon Glacier combination. Gonna connect onto Kirk, but Brusco answers right back. And now Dark Knight Falls is there. First blood. Kirk will fall down in exchange for Nibor. Erad onto the backline here. Can't get anyone to pick off. That's a 1-for-1 trade. And now Fnatic still standing strong. That was the upper. Oh, no Deadly Stingers here for Light. No Dark Knight Falls. How is RSG going to answer right back? Because Brusco is charging his Tyrant's Revenge. Not going to connect. It's going to be a Retribution battle, but King Kong still remains the king of the jungle as he gets the second turtle.
And as early as 5 minutes, second turtle, we already see how RSG's line up their draft, despite how spicy, how exotic, and how strong it is at specifically what it wants to do. It is just that. It's very specific.
Yeah.
It cannot start fights, at least the old-fashioned way. It cannot respond to fights the old-fashioned way because, look, you got two chunky frontliners for Fnatic Onic Philippines. You got Kirk and you got Brusco. Even Light had to think twice.
Yeah.
He threw, blanks at the Deadly Poison Stingers.
Yeah.
And that's so easy for Fnatic Onic to take advantage of.
But kudos to Light, though, as he picks up the Blade of Heptasis. He was able... Look at this, Brusco! Tyrant's Revenge plus the Flicker combination. Light has to pop that Dark Knight Falls, but no counterattack from RSG as they take the purple buff away from Erad.
What I say. 6 minutes in and already Brusco has plenty to show for in the Anong Palagmo before the match began.
Yeah.
We'll see who is a better setter, and he set the hell out of that move.
So far, 2-for-2 with the Tyrant's Revenge range combination from Brusco. Very beautiful, right on target, and at the crucial moment because they were contesting for the purple buff. And you know this Fanny, he needs that purple buff, especially in the early game.
Haven't seen as good of a Kufra set in a while from the names the likes of Ogwin, Chaknu, and Gani.
Yeah. Who's... Okay.
Yeah. If you played with Gani, you would know.
I was supposed to say, if you played with me yesterday, you would have seen me with the Kufra.
Oh, yeah?
As Erad picks a Malefic Roar here, you can assure that RSG really wants to get the pick off. Again, it's hard because... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, FNOP. Brusco charging once again. Just to make sure he's carrying Kosei here as they pick up Tier 1 turret. So far, so good. 2.2k gold lead for Fnatic Onic.
That's clean. You were saying, and the whole pick-off situation for RSG, right?
Yeah. Again,
I don't think the pick-off's going to happen because Fnatic Onic are making themselves scarce. Look, if you want to pick one off, it's one of the chunky dudes. I don't think it's worth it.
Plus... if the Frigid Glacier connects, but look at this offended play onto Nibor. Is he going to be able to cast that Primal Wrath Flicker out? As Fnatic Onic takes control of this turtle. A while ago, they were able to secure 2. Now RSG has to walk away.
Nothing.
Just to minimize the casualties.
Nothing. All towards Fnatic Onic, man.
But again, you can't say Nibor say... You can Nibor say nothing.
Because sure, they're doing well for a team that's down a turret, a kill, and all 3 turtles.
It can change with one beautiful Frigid Glacier coming in from Aqua, but look at this, Primal Wrath will be casted, as well as Steps of Blade. Dark Knight Falls is there, but the first one down is Nibor. And this is what you were saying. if Fnatic Onyx starts things off, there's no counterattack for RSG unless Aqua is in the picture with the Frigid Glacier. But in that case, they were too fast. Fnatic Onyx was too fast. I mean, one setup from Kirk and then Tempest of Blades was all they needed to bring down one of the chunkiest heroes of the Raiders.
And this is counterintuitive to what we would expect. Looking at Fnatic Onyx lineup, you would expect that they would be the ones who are the ones, you know, hiding in bushes, waiting. But no, they're super proactive. They're calling shots, they're making plays, and it's RSG who's relegated to playing guerrilla tactics. Like, they're the ones hiding when, in truth, they're the ones who should be picking fights.
Yeah, and I'm actually used to seeing a Ling in MPL normally just split pushing because they're
That's
on the
right.
receiving end most of the time.
That's right.
So far, Fnatic Onyx able to execute this lineup right now.
It's impressive, this lineup, because again, they have combat mobility, map mobility, rotational speed, and look, they're pushing like nobody's business. Look at this is his turrets, no more.
Yeah, plus the moment you try to pick off Super Prince, aside from the fact that he has a flicker, that Deadly Grasp alone can actually save him. Even if Ira tries to go with the Cable's Cutthroat, once the Deadly Grasp is casted, Fnatic Onyx, Bruce could just really jump in, bouncing ball, and not let Irad escape.
And that's the difference in their draft. Because again, RSG, they picked up more proactive heroes, ideally on paper. They want to be able to move around, call the shots, you know, start things up. But Fnatic Onic Philippines, they were able to draft not just reliable CC, they were able to draft rotational speed and peel.
Now gonna jump in, Tyrant's Revenge combination. Nibor has to cast the Primal Wrap, but the Frigid Glacier is there. King Kong going right after the backline. The first man down once again is Nibor, but here comes Kosei with the Synchro Vision. But look at who's there. Kellera making sure to bring down the opposing gold laner, because 3 members of the Raiders are nowhere to be found.
You get nothing, good sir, nothing. Fnatic Onic Philippines, about
Kellera
6,000 head. Kellera walks in.
Kellera knows where Irad is hiding. 3 objectives for Fnatic. Make it 4 as they get the Lord. And looking at the instant replay, I mean, Brusco.
This one's brought to us by Infinix. Check it out. It started off of Brusco, and I don't know if you can zoom in, but you guys can do it yourselves. You see how well Brusco came in and protected not just Kellera, but even Super Friends, and Kirk was pretty low.
He made sure that Irad wasn't able to do freestyle cables because of the bouncing ball. But wait, Tempest of Blades. Irad, is he gonna
Looking
go
for the
it?
dash?
Oh, King Kong.
What?
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow, look at this.
One basic attack, but Kirk is here. I am offended. Finds Irad.
Unceremoniously, they were in the middle of a recall battle.
Man, Kirk crashed the party, honestly.
You know what? Just chalk it up to it being a 5v5 game, man.
Honestly, I was expecting King Kong to go down from his throne.
You think?
Yeah, I knew it. I know.
This is the jungle, man.
This is the jungle, and King Kong is the king of the jungle.
And in this moment, 8,000 gold down. RSG, 11 minutes in. There's a huge lord marching through bottom. Holy shields pop.
Oh, catches Nibor once again, and look at the damage output of that Vixana. Frigid Glacier is wasted, so no counterattack for RSG, but look at King Kong. Taunting Irad, taunting the Eradicator. I bet in Irad's head he's saying, "You're lucky this is not my Lancelot."
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
And Kirk shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, Kirk shouldn't have been there.
I'd like to see you try to do that alone.
Yeah. But again, 5v5 MLBB play.
It's a team sport.
It's a team sport. Whew! RSG so far has the capabilities to turn things around with one clash since they were able to save all inhibitor turrets. But again, if Aqua continues to miss the Frigid Glacier, that's a huge resource wasted for the Raiders.
You know what? It's less about it's less about Aqua missing out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the mobility of Fnatic.
And you can
Kirk.
Nebo really count out what they're doing because Kirk missing out. They're just going for the push.
Just to zone out, just to make sure to get an inhibitor turret before the second turtle, if ever we reach that point. And now Winter Crown's coming in from Fnatic Onic, making sure that Irad won't be able to get the groove that he wants with his Fanny.
For sure.
And now, so far, the Hellcrit pick, not really working in the favor of RSG.
It's not paying off. We understand what they were trying to do. It's just not against Fnatic Onic Philippines, who are just so honed in, who know exactly what's up. It's just the mid lane inhibitor standing for RSG. and slowly but surely, Fnatic Onic Philippines will choke out all remaining resources on the map. That's an orange buff stolen away.
I'm not even sure when was the last time Irad got his purple buff.
His anything.
His anything, yeah. 3 turtles to Fnatic's name, first turtle to Fnatic, and now it looks like the potential last Lord will go in the hands of the Sonics.
And what's difficult for RSG is, sure, you can take it to the base, but even under the base, right? You don't have the most stellar wave clear in the world.
Yeah.
Sure, you have the Aurora. Sure, you have...
If Nibor uses the Primal Wrath, that's a huge resource waste just to clear out the minions.
That's right, and even Kusei,
Yeah.
he's like a mid-ranged mage. He has to commit. He has to really put himself there for it to make a difference.
Okay, the strategy right now for the Raiders is to get the pick off before the Lord spawns.
And to split.
Yeah, to split, to pick off. I mean, Light, I know Light really wants to cast that Dark Knight Falls at anyone. He can actually burst down Super Friends or King Kong if
Sure.
King Kong doesn't use the Tempest of Blades.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
again, that's King Kong.
Here's what's difficult, right? You know how bad it is for RSG right now?
How?
They have a Hellcurt. They have a Fanny. They can't even split push.
Because of the threat of every member from Fnatic.
Right?
It's
And
a Brusco.
the map's out on their side. Look at this. The last inhibitor falls.
Oh!
It has to push. What?
Out of nowhere, that's an RKO from King Kong as Amin Force is there, plus the Primal Wrath. Kirk is the first man down, but Nibor Irad nowhere to be found as Fnatic Onic remains undefeated so far with a Game 1 win.
An unorthodox pick led the Fnatic Onic Philippines going for the jugular. First day goes over for the Sonics. Impressive work. I don't think you were ready for that. None of us were.
I wasn't even ready for what King Kong did. It was out.
It was right at the corner of our eyes. I think our infinite data by an analyst have more to say about this. Rock on Redmar. Talk us through.
Right? That's right there. I mean, one word, right? Just one word. It was, sorry, obviously, maybe it could have worked in some multiverse.
I mean, I don't deny that.
Yes, right? It might.
But it's so difficult to make that work with everything that was thrown at you. I don't know if it sort of felt like Fnatic Onic or RSG Philippines went into that already knowing that, okay, we're going to pick the Hellcurt. Sees the last 2 picks and still goes, let's just go for the Hellcurt. It's tough, man.
It's mind-boggling, to be honest. It's like you know how the fans do it. But I guess you can't really discredit how well Fnatic Onic Philippines actually played that out.
Yeah.
And you know what? Both roamers came into the match like, okay, who's gonna be the better set guy?
Yeah.
And Light says, pass.
You ended up giving him an assassin. It's hard to make that work in the Philippines. I know it works in other regions and other countries, but this is MPLPH that we're talking about. And because the roamer of RSG Philippines, I will give them this. If it went well, it could have been disruptive to the farming pattern of King Kong. But we saw RSG's playstyle, again, is still around the objectives. The actual front line of this lineup in objectives is Nibor's Edith. But if you take the action away from where the Edith is and say send it to when Fnatic Onic Philippines is invading the purple buff of RSG Philippines, you have no front line protect. The Aurora can only do so much to buy time and crowd control, but up against an invading Kufra, an invading Vexana, the Hellcurt will really have a tough time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we were talking about how kind of fragile the lineup of RSG Philippines was before the draft started, or while the draft was happening. And it did seem apparent right there that they really needed someone to really bridge that early and mid.
Yeah.
And when we saw the Hellcurt, we said, you know what? Right after we went off cam, we said, yo, their early game is gonna be tough.
Yeah. For us, if we see something like this in, let's say, our ranked games,
right,
we'd be scared of the Hellcurt and the Fanny.
Correct.
Understandable, because those are two heroes that can snowball if they get those early kills and those early takedowns.
Big if.
But this is the pro scene, where you have really strong roamers and mid laners who know how to rotate in certain areas at the right times to block the advanced positioning of Hellcurts, to give a lot of difficulty to the Fanny as well, so that he's just stuck farming, which he was.
You know what? In the early phases, it could have actually really worked out. But at the very end, I think Fnatic Onic was also very smart to pick up the Kufra, which will disrupt assassins, a lot of assassins, in the middle of their engagement, in the middle of the
You're right.
combos.
Yeah.
Fanny is going to have a hard time.
Yep.
Hellcurt as well, jumping in, then can't really jump out anymore.
Yeah, we also have to return to the items because Fnatic Onic Philippines, they itemize so well. It was a rush on the anti-Cuirass by Brusco, so immediately you're giving the physical damage reduction to the Hellcurt and the Fanny, who base their main damage from the skills, and that's how anti-Cuirass works. You also have the Vexana who rushed the Bloodwings, so it's not going to be as easy to take down Super Prince because he has that little bit of shield to give him survivability. Kirk even built pants. He went for the steel leg plates before into the War Axe. That's just really great itemization as well from Fnatic Onic Philippines. And I guess we can't completely put it on the fact that RSG picked Hellcurt.
Yeah.
But more also on the fact that Fnatic Onic Philippines responded to it so well.
Yeah, that draft response was good, but the in-game response was even better, like way better than I expected it to be. I expected maybe a bit of a push, maybe a bit of an early game advantage for RSG, but then again, we were talking about what if, right? A big what if they didn't get any kills. Because the domination of the snowball of the Hellcurt and the Fanny is very conditional on whether or not you can get those early kills, get that gold, get those items, and then take the game from there.
Speaking of confidence, like Kelro was so confident that RSG Philippines, the Fanny and the Hellcurt won't be able to get that snowball because his first item was he just rushed the Sky Piercer. He already knew. It's just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and build this because it's fine. I'm gonna be okay, and he was.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. I think the confidence of the Super Fam is something that you can't really understate here.
Yeah.
Even coming into a matchup that looked very odd. Normally, initially, you'd be kind of rattled maybe if you're Fnatic Onic.
Yes.
Because you're faced with a bit of an unknown. I don't know if it's not unknown. Maybe it's unexpected turn. But you know what? They played around it very well. And I think they also kind of just compounded the rotation. The way they went around the map about this.
Yeah. Again, it's when you're up against a Fanny and a Hellcurt, the key areas where you want to get in are that Pixel Shrub in front of the objectives, and the shrubs closest to the easily invadable objectives on your side, which is the Scale Lizard on the top side and the Crammer and or the Golem on your orange side. So if you can just visualize that, I wish we had like a map I can point things out to.
You can probably draw.
I have no drawing abilities, man. But hopefully you understand what I mean. Yeah, and when you block those specific areas, it's gonna be so hard for Hellcurt to position, a Fanny to find an opening, and they did try. RSG Philippines did try, but I think now, again, as our discussion is going on, I'm a little bit more lax now on the fact that it was a Hellcurt, and more just really want to appreciate how a Fnatic Onic Philippines responded to it with their items and their rotations.
Then again, guys, we're not like, it could have worked. Honestly, against maybe any other team, it might have had a chance to work. But when we saw it against Fnatic Onic Philippines, who had really good macro, who had good understanding of the matchup, and a huge swerve pick with that Kufra, I knew that was going to be a hard game. I don't know if you guys agree. I don't know if you guys agree with the Hellcurt pick. Do you think it could have worked? Do you think there's another better option? Let us know, because we want to ask you, right? We want to ask you. Because honestly, I'm curious. I want to ask Panda later what that was about.
Coach, what was that Hellcurt?
Yeah. But, you know what? We want to ask you about what team should be what matchup should be a Week 5 star match? Oh, we have TLPH versus Fnatic Onic, again, undefeated versus the Titan. FCAP versus Aurora, very hype, very big fan bases. Black versus Omega, obviously Blacklist still looking for their first win of the season. Or Aurora versus Omega. I guess these are the two unexpected teams of the season so far.
For sure.
What's your star matchup there?
Comment that.
Comment it right there. Honestly, for me, FCAP versus Aurora is huge, but I want to see, because, right, these two teams, right, Aurora versus Omega, I feel like no one expected both of them to be here on the upper half, right?
For sure.
This is very interesting for me. But again, we want to know what you guys think, and then we'll probably take it from there.
Yeah. I think it might people as early as now might be thinking about Team Liquid Philippines versus Fnatic Onic Philippines. But again, we also have to wait for is Fnatic Onic Philippines streak is going to be alive at that time, because they are going to be going up against Falcons APBren later in the week.
Oh, that's a tough one. You're right. Oh my goodness. So the streak is not safe quite yet.
Not just
right?
yet.
I mean, this is their first big challenge. It does feel like they're doing well against this specific challenge, you know, the streak breakers. But other than that, you're going to have to face off against the world champions. I don't envy you. But for you guys, if you want to win 90,000 diamonds, just go to the MPL arena, right? You post about your live experience on Facebook and TikTok with hashtag MPL S14 live experience, and then you get a chance to win 90K. All you have to do is use that hashtag, post about it if you did go. I mean, I guess you want to add a picture there to prove that you did go. And make sure that you tag MPL Philippines. You know the official MPL Philippines page, right? I don't know, maybe some of you might be watching there right now.
Yeah.
And then that's all. We're just looking to give away diamonds here. Apparently Moonton's having a great week or great month. They just want to give away some diamonds. But for now, we got another diamond gifting thing going on here.
Oh yeah.
It is the smart gameplay pose. Is that?
That's Chakno you just did just now.
Or no? Is there someone who does that?
I think not anymore.
Not
We had
anymore.
someone.
We had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Yaoi, of course, was that. He was doing the Cho pose.
I missed that. I missed those. I miss Yaoi overall. But either way, all you have to do is just copy the pose right there. Oh, it's fairly easy. It's a Brusca pose.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. There.
Oh my goodness. All right.
That's good.
I think this guy
That's
won.
good. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
Oh my.
That's it.
Tone it down a little bit. There you go. Oh wait, we're
Careful with the hand placements, brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think he.
Careful with the hand
going
placements.
back. All right.
A little
Don't
bit lower.
Push the guy. Don't push the other guy.
Okay.
All right. We got contenders.
He's a little bit closer to Brusco because I
God,
too close. Too close.
Yeah,
Back
he
up.
wins.
Back up.
I think he wins.
Hands.
He wins, yeah.
Hands.
There you go.
Brother, your hands. Oh.
Careful. He has glasses.
Yeah. All right.
He has
cool.
glasses. Come on.
You're gonna be immortalized now. Congratulations on your code.
Oh my goodness.
Not like that.
Wait, that's too. Yo.
Yeah.
That's.
The man is pumped.
The man is pumped. The man is happy to be here. You can tell. Oh my goodness. And again, these are fans who braved storms to be here, by the way. Literal rains and storms. So big congratulations to you.
Yeah.
That was a really fun experience.
I'm grateful for all our fans
Yes.
for being here today.
Thank you so much for being here today. And I hope you guys can also, if you didn't make it today, maybe one of these days, one of these weeks, you can come over here and then we'll have some fun here on the MPL Arena here in the Philippines.
Join us.
Yes, please join us. But for now, RSG, going back to their color,
my
it's blue
notes?
side. And yeah, for this one, I don't doubt that there's going to be a possible high loss here, maybe for RSG or maybe a Zask. But Aqua has been doing a lot. He actually one of the most flexible mid laners here in the league, probably. So I wouldn't be surprised by that as well.
Yeah.
Like a later pick.
Yeah, I mean, he has 6 unique picks. The Zask is his most picked and most successful right now.
Yep.
He's 2 out of 3. Or excuse me, that's wins. So 3 out of 4. He's 3 out of 4 with the Zask.
Yeah, very powerful pick overall for any team.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's Aqua.
It's funny because in game number 1, Roger was snubbed. Now in game number 2, we saw Roger, obviously in game number 1, but now Zask. Zask has also just been generally snubbed today. People have fallen back to the Vexanas, the Valentinas, even the Lilias are starting to get picked a little bit more than her.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Honestly, I feel like the mid lane needs a bit more, what do you call that?
Attention?
Attention, yeah, I guess. I feel like I missed the Kaguras of Aqua, stuff like that. That could happen.
Not gonna lie, I agree with you, man. I
Right?
do miss that Aqua Kagura.
Oh, man. Very underrated. And again, one of the most underrated players in the league. But so far, they're going to have to do a lot to bring this series back.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be open for them. Will they pick up the Roger? If the Jushin will be left open, are they going to consider it? Fnatic Onic Philippines might actually even think about that.
That's actually very, quite a predictable pick, I think, right? The Zushin.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Never looks very happy, though. And again, I feel like this guy really does feel like there's a lot of potential.
We might see one of
Losing
those.
with potential.
Yeah. What is it? Okay, Jushin's open.
Jushin.
She's not always auto pick, but there's a lot open.
It's a possibility. We're talking about the mid earlier, right?
Yeah.
This could be it.
Hard to pick Zask into Jushin. But Roger's still open. They can go Roger now and then pick their jungler later to surprise. Lots of approaches.
So many approaches, actually. Health grid first, maybe.
What God, no. What if they rush Fanny or something? That'd be funny. Oh!
I called it. Yeah, I called it.
Okay, so that leaves the Hayabusa, the Julia. Oh wait, no, Hayabusa, Julia, and Nolan are also open for King Kong.
That's funny because.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
What?
King Kong has not played Julian yet. He's more Roger, Haya, Nolan.
So we're picking Kyle, right? Kyle's been playing a lot of Julian in jungle.
Yeah, I was thinking of Kyle.
Right. So right now, obviously, I think Coach Panda very aware of the possibility of King Kong just picking up that hero and said, you know what, Irad, you play a Fanny so that King Kong can play it, okay? That's exactly how Panda would say it.
Terizla or Edith has to go here.
Roger's there.
Yeah, Roger,
Right.
Terizla or Edith.
Right.
One of those two. Because I think RSG would want to go something along. There we go.
it is.
Grok Terizla would be okay here. Or they pick the Roamer alongside the Terizla. Just for sure, I'd want to see them get an EXP laner that can hold the front. Since Light is more pick-off, right?
What if Light goes for Kufra here? Oh, it's not. Oh.
Okay, yeah, Jushin already.
Wow,
And
all
they
your
do-
damage dealers.
Yeah.
Right off the
They
bat.
show, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. So the Roamer and EXP is gonna go later.
That's very bold of Panda here, right? What's the answer going to be? How do you hunt down a Fanny? How do you hunt down a Harif? What's the key pick?
Look at. I think this Roger will be going into the jungle.
Oh, jungle. You think?
The gold lane might be a more lockdown gold laner, basic attacks.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't necessarily need to go something along the lines of a Nolan. They can, if they really just want to get that burst right away and then have Keller do cleanup with the Roger, if that's a combo they're going for. But against the Harith and the Jushin, maybe not needed.
Haya.
Yeah, so they go Haya instead.
Not bad. Again, most damage dealers, jungle and gold lanes are locked in right now. So it's going to be a tank battle. Which ones are going to get banned out? I guess I'm thinking about the performance earlier if I was RSG. So I would either pick up or ban out the Kufra in these scenarios. Because again, the Fanny just can't work well with the Kufra in the playing field.
I agree with you. Take out the Fanny, take out the Grok. Oh, excuse me, the Kufra. Take out the Kufra, take out the Grok.
Okay. Again, we're talking about these two roamers, but we haven't actually seen the roamer picks yet. This is funny.
Yeah.
Tigreal probably gonna get banned out as well. Cho is a great ban out, to be honest. Tigreal, Kufra are the major pain points here, I guess, unless you want to focus down on the XP lane. There's Teriz. Kufra, there you go.
Yeah, great call on the Kufra ban, man. And you really did have to do that. Huh.
Now, do you think of more roam or XP? For Rizla out? For either one of these, right? Either one of them can actually go for XP or roam.
I mean, FNOP can go to Rizla Edith. They can roam the Edith if they want to. If they take out the Rizla, that's a sign that the Edith is not gonna go into the roam. That's gonna go EXP. Then the roamer's gonna get picked up at 4th.
Definitely more flexibility for FNOP so far.
If they want to leverage the flexibility, just pick their mid laner at number 4. I think they might even consider something along the lines of an Aurora or a Lilia. Only because those two heroes will have things in their kit that if ever the Fanny decides to swoop in, you can reset the damage. Okay. Yeah, you can reset the damage and just survive the burst. Good ban of the Lolita because we saw her earlier how difficult the time Edith had against the Lolita. And even the Roger might have a bit of difficulty there with the pokes.
Yeah, I would have loved to see a Lolita in this game, but right now, no. It's a no-no. And that just means that Wynot's just very aware. Like, you know what, of the off-meta possibilities. I would say meta, right? Lolita's becoming very meta, even in lineups that doesn't have an Onic.
Yeah. I'm thinking if the Grok might be actually difficult to pull off, considering the Jushin can just constantly annoy him. He'll have to like really stick beside walls.
Or maybe the Grok can go to RSG.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking Fnatic Onic Philippines might steal the Grok away. Because I can really, like, I agree with you there. We were calling it earlier that the Grok is good for the RSG lineup right now.
I mean, you want to remove the possibility of a Fanny getting blocked off in the middle of a path.
Yeah.
You know, if Fnatic Onic decides to go Grok, it's gonna be a hard time for the fan.
Look at the Bruce. I mean, the Tigreal that you mentioned earlier is also still open. That I wouldn't be so remiss if they picked that. The Edith hasn't been picked up by Brusco yet. What is it?
That's a
Oh,
Grok.
yeah, okay, so they do take the
Okay.
Grok away.
That's a beautiful pick from Fnatic Onic, honestly.
Yeah. So I think Lilia might be their last pick later. This is gonna be another frontliner that might be a bit slower. They can go
Tigreal?
Tig, yeah. Tig Terizla might be
Tigrisla.
Tigrisla. Yeah.
Okay.
Tigrisla's better,
Tigrisla, yeah.
The Tigriz. A little bit of the Tigriz.
Hey, you want Tigris, bro?
Yeah. But single target lockdown might actually be good for them. But yeah, Tigriz is...
Or hunt him down, yeah.
Tigriz might be okay. I think that's the Riz already hovered.
Okay. I think that they confirm it then.
Tigriz.
Tigriz.
Oh, what?
What?
Okay, you know what? Let's give it some chance.
This is strike two, man. Strike two right now. Let's see if it's gonna work. But RSG is really trying to make the Hellcurrent.
Yeah. What is this, Lilia? Aurora?
Aurora's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Aurora's
Lilia
great.
or Aurora. Hell, at this point, I won't mind if Fnatic Onic Philippines goes Nana. I'm not even kidding.
Anything can work, technically.
Anything
right?
that has an ability in their kit to reset a burst, either because you get to save yourself with the passive of the Aurora, or you can reset with Lilia's skill.
Right.
Huh? What's their mid?
Mathilda? I think Mathilda's their mid.
Oh!
Yeah, Mathilda's their mid.
A damaged Mathilda.
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. You know what? Honestly,
Interesting drafts.
It seems like why not's coaching style is, oh, you know what? We kind of need. They have so much damage. Let's get someone who can get everyone out of harm's way and heal as well, and shield as well.
True. A part of me also wants to credit. I feel like it's not just a why not thing that we're seeing with Fnatic Onic Philippines.
It's a hero thing.
It might also just be a Yelly Haze thing.
Yelly Haze.
Remember Yelly Haze, the analyst, longtime professional,
Right.
also a gold medalist.
Woo! Gonna be spicy. Let me know, guys. I want to know in the comments right now. I'm reading, by the way, guys, in MOBB Esports and MPL Philippines. Who do you think came out on top? You agree with the second Hellcurt pick and the Matilda pick? Let us know. But for now, it's Leo and Ingan taking it away.
This is as good as fighting fire with fire. Back
Welcome
in it with
to
match
Mobile
point.
Legends.
Going over to Fnatic Onic Philippines. Can RSG's second Hellcurt do the job?
Yeah. Second chance. But will they be able to execute? Okay, for the first game though, Light was actually the first one who got the kill for the Raiders.
Sure.
It was up against Kirk.
Yeah.
And then after that, what happened?
Nothing. There was no follow through. Here, though, it looks like Fnatic Onic are ready to play hardball, if you know what I mean, because they also pulled us over a quick one. They put the Matilda, who, by the way, gets picked up maybe once every 2 weeks in Season 14 now, if ever, and puts it right in mid. What's going on?
Honestly, Matilda hurts if you add the right emblems and at the same time have magic items. So
very specific.
But at the same time, I think...
While, if I'm not mistaken, the
Whoa!
Oh! That had nothing to do with any of the heroes we're talking about.
Okay. King Kong's job was just to actually get jungle creeps, but he got a bigger fish, which was Light.
Look at the face on Light. He was just wondering, how did no one see that coming?
You know, Light said, I was the one who's supposed to make sure you don't see me coming. I'm a Hellcurt.
Look at this, man. Because of what happened, Light is just clearing bushes and walking out.
Yeah, that's a major delay, honestly.
You were saying about the Matilda, man, because
yeah.
Superfish just picked up a warrior boots there.
It's also something you want up against a Hellcurt because of the shields. Making sure that you don't get burst down. At the same time, you also save your teammates with a guiding wind.
From the Lantern Flare,
yeah.
you get him out of the Zaman Force, you save him from, lethal penalty zones. I get it. You help, widen the gap between the Fanny,
Yeah.
who has calculated,
Plus,
the
honestly,
closer.
with Kelra and King Kong's physical damage, you're not gonna need that much magic damage, especially if Kirk uses the Primal Wrath, because Primal Wrath's damage is magic.
Sure,
So you
here we
won't
go.
lack damage.
Wait, did it happen? Nope.
Okay, Brusco was forced to use that flicker, but the Lantern Flare is there. Again, the save coming in from Super Friends with a guiding win, and the counter punish. Era's gonna fall down in the hands of Super Friends, but they're not yet done, because Light steps in, jumps in the party, brings down Brusco, and again, the guiding wind to save Kirk.
And all this while, it started off with King Kong taking on the Turtle, mano y mano. And now Nibor right in front of Kirk, and King Kong. It's not over yet. Oh.
That was one Earth Shatter though. They were able to sustain. And now, so far that was a good counter initiate from Light. He was able to bring down Brusco though. Still, at least it was something compared to nothing.
For sure, Fnatic Onic have a small lead, about 400, 500 gold. And despite all the chaos and the mayhem caused by the Sonics across the map, I think in the gold lane, only in the gold lane is RSG ahead, slightly, very slightly. Kusei up maybe 100, 200 gold.
Yeah. And I think it's the presence also of Light, because King Kong's been seeing that Light's rotating up top. So Kelra really needs to play safe. Even if he's the gold standard, that's still a Hellcurt that could easily burst down Kelra once he's level 4 especially.
For sure, even if he does have like 2 dashes out of there, the flicker and the Lycan pounce. Looking at the rest of the map, Fnatic Onic has about 500, 600 gold ahead, 3 minutes in. This is a slightly slower paced game, Egan. I don't know if you agree with me.
Yeah.
Because both teams are playing with, exotic picks with the Matilda and the Hellcurt.
Even if it's a Fanny and a Hayabusa, it's relatively slow, apart from the early first blood kill coming in from King Kong. But this is the beauty of Aqua. Look at Brusco not being able to go right after, but was that a steal?
Looking at
I can't see Irad.
It doesn't seem like he has a purple on him, and there was a purple aura on King Kong. As he pressed the Retribution. I mean, they both have the Retribution cooldown.
Okay.
We can only guess.
One thing for sure is the Earth Shatter is casted as well as the Dark Knight falls, but here comes Fnatic Onic with a Circling Eagle. Nibor is going to get a taste of that Wild Charge. He's going to fall down as well. And now it's hard to counterattack for RSG, because even if you have setups coming in from Aqua, where's the damage coming from? Because your damage dealers are the ones getting bursted down.
Yeah, it's an odd combination. Aqua needs time to set up. Nibor just happens
look at the gold lane.
in a single burrow. 1v1, 1v1.
1v1, and Kelra this time comes out on top. But Irad wants to answer right back. 1 dash away to evade Irad. And now they're going to punish Aqua here. Damage is there for Fnatic Onic. But again, the Lantern coming in from this Zushin is really detrimental. One Lantern combo can actually burst down anyone from Fnatic Onic. Apart from Brusco, maybe.
Yes, but you're just talking about one. Light's in trouble. It's over. He crossed the threshold, man. Again, this is a question asked by our analysts at the panel, Renmar and Rockhard. They asked like 30, 45 minutes ago in the first game, where's the out? How does Light get out of those situations? No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He can't.
He's all in.
There's only one way. Death timer. That's the only way to get out of the skirmish.
He gets sent home immediately.
Yeah, because even if he dashes out, Super Prince will just manage to catch him with a Circling Eagle, but someone is going to get taken down. It's Nibor once again. Was able to cast that penalty zone, but it's not going to be enough because Fnatic Onic wants to deprive Irad once again of his jungle. And another catch, but there's the Fleeting Lantern. And now Aqua is the only member here for RSG. But here comes Kosei, catches 2. Super Fringe manages to escape. Brusco flickers out. Still no trade for RSG.
Earth and Force, keeping him where he needs to be. You can't choke slam or Lantern Flare a Grok that's charging up the power of nature because of his passive. Impressive work by Fnatic Onic PH. They maintain the pressure, the aggression, putting them up to about 5,000 gold here.
Yeah.
5,000 gold at 6.5 minutes.
And no buff again for Irad.
You know what? That last buff was almost his.
Yeah, honestly.
No buff is worth your life.
Plus the wall from Brusco. We've been commending his Wild Charge and his zoning, but we haven't commended actually one wall. But that wall from Brusco and the purple buff was all they needed to deprive Irad of his purple buff.
It just compromises anything and everything RSG wants to do. And even if Fnatic Onic PH said, yes, let's play hardball, let's also play on a odd tangent, they're still calling all the shots. It's still their game.
Yeah, really dictating the pace. I mean, King Kong 3-0-2 right away with the Hayabusa. I'm not even sure if he picked up a Sky Piercer there. So Fnatic Onic in every single department, sustain, whether it be setups or damage.
CC,
everything.
Vision.
They're ahead. They're above, not to mention a 5.7k gold lead. And now another purple buff skirmish here. Brusco managing to zone out the members of RSG. I think Irad has to let it go because 4 members of Fnatic Onic are here. He's going to get a retribution, but he's not going to get that purple buff.
At this point, Irad at level 9 and King Kong miles ahead at level 12. Yeah, a single retribution makes the difference. Looking at the items here, yep, the one bastion, one hope for RSG in the gold lane in Kusei. Forget about it. He's like 2,000 gold down.
Yeah, as much as possible, you want that Harith to be dominant in the early, or at least at the mid game, the mid game power spike. But at this point, that's a high, a tall mountain to climb. 7.1k gold lead. So far, both of our games, we've been seeing relatively fast games with huge gold leads even before the first.
Oh no! Light had to pull the trigger on the ult. He's hiding in this bush. He's getting surrounded.
Defensive Dark Knight falls, but he was able to dash out. Okay, Kirk gets a Primal Wrath in. Is he going to be able to take down this Light? And it looks like he will. That was the slowest kill I've seen so far in MPL.
Lights out. Again, you mentioned it, Ingan. Fnatic Onic PH knows they're going to conquer RSG. It's just a matter of time. It's a slow ascent into another match win. 8k ahead. Look at the map. RSG is just trying their best to regain a part of it. Successful split push by Irad.
Honestly, look at Kelra. He's literally a dog with an owner, Super Friends. Whenever Kelra overextends, just one guiding wind out, he's safe. That's the leash.
He's
basically.
got that dog in him.
That's
Not to mention
signal.
a Lycan Bounce and a Flicker.
Yeah.
Nothing is touching Kelra.
A lot. Whew.
And to mention, really, the confirmed CCs from RSG come in either Aqua's Lantern Flare or Nibor's Penalty Zone. That's it.
Yeah, but the problem is I've seen Nibor use the penalty zone defensively or as a last effort because he was about to die.
To dash out.
Yeah, you need it. You needed to execute plays. You needed to force team fights or start team fights and set up Irad perfectly. So far, okay, the story again of RSG is why did they pick up the Hellcurt? It's the same thing over again.
You know what? The Hellcurt, to me, is just symbolic of what else RSG needs to work on draft-wise. Fundamentally speaking, they have very little CC.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for them to check bushes and the pace of the fights when they happen, right? I was trying to talk about this earlier on, but fights kept breaking out. Look at this. You have to wait till Aqua is ready to choke someone out, right?
Yeah.
You have to wait till Nibor finds a good angle for the penalty zone. Everything else happens in the blink of an eye. Light's assassination, Irad's angles, Kusei fighting. They just don't add up, at least.
This is what you were saying.
To me.
If Brusco, if Aqua gets a stack onto Brusco, he's just going to cast the Power of Nature.
That's
for
it.
anti-CC. That's it.
And
That's the counter.
And if the angle doesn't work out, he can flicker near a wall or wild charge in.
Honestly, a good delay for the Lord push here for Fnatic Onic PH. They're going to use the Earth Shatter just to zone out the members of RSG and make sure to bring down Inhibitor Turret with level 1 Lord. Sets their eyes once again on this purple buff. And at this point, Fnatic Onic just really extending the league. 10.4k gold lead.
Light's going to get out of here. He's fine.
Yeah.
But then again, unless he's significantly affecting and impacting the map via the waves, he's just really checking bushes. He's just clearing bushes.
Yeah.
He's delaying the inevitable.
At this point, it's even hard again. Just like game number 1, you'd expect Hellcurt and Fanny to do split push. Irad was able to do one up top and get a tier 1 turret. But the problem is Fnatic Onic, the super family, starting to extend their grasp over the map, making sure that all lanes are covered. No split pushes will be done for RSG.
It went from bad to worse. Keller just picked up a Blade of Despair.
Oh, 4-man penalty zone, but a guiding wind from Super Friends will save the super family. Now to counterattack. Look at Keller with a Lycan bounce in. Kirk all the way to the back line, still alive, but he's going to fall down. And now King Kong Shadow out. But look at Keller! Oh my goodness! Up until beside the crystal, he was able to take down Light. Yet, He remains alive!
Kelra fears no death. Death fears Kelra. 2 men left to defend. RSG just has Irad and Aqua. And Fnatic Onic PH will take the last
and the Castillo
inhibitor.
coming in from Brusco. There's the wall that they want, but they're gonna brew a tower lock as Fnatic Onic in 4 weeks. Undefeated, 6 series. Who's gonna break the super family?
Players, not the pretty players. Fnatic Onic Philippines take the series. Week 4, day 1. Ended too quickly.
At this point, they're really unbothered. Rain or shine, Fnatic Onic remains on top. Wow, just wow. Flawless execution from all their players. Literally everyone from Fnatic Onic side.
Impressive work. Fnatic Onic Philippines picking up the Matilda, putting it mid, able to answer anything and everything RSG threw their way, even the Hellcurt.
A lot of regrouping or rethinking needed here from the Raiders, but one thing for sure is if any team can bounce back from a standing like this, it's definitely the Raiders.
Of course.
Yeah.
For years on end, they've always finished 3rd or 4th in the hardest league in the world, MPL Philippines. GG, well played. RSG. That was a courtesy. That's what they call it, right? Courtesy. And now, in just a bit, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be hearing from the Super Fam as they head on stage with Mara Aquino for a few words, talking about their 6-series win streak.
The streak continues. Let's give a big round of applause to Fnatic Onic. Congratulations! Brusco, sa isang interview, na-mention mo na in-expect mo itong win streak na to dahil sa tiwala mo sa mga teammates mo. So you being a new player, paano mo ba nabuo yung tiwala sa mga teammates mo at sa kanila para sa'yo?
Since nung season 13, nakita ko na malakas sila. Tapos, parang sa scrim, parang gawa lang kami ng gawa ng play, tapos tiwala kami sa isa't isa. Kaya siguro na-adapt namin sa stage.
Paano mo nakukuha yung confidence mo? Kasi nagulat ako dun sa palag. Hindi ko na-expect na ganun ka pala ka-confident. Ganito ka ba talaga?
Kung ako po yung unang tinanong nyo doon, sabihin ko sana wala akong palag eh. Kaso nagsabi sila ng gano'n eh, kaya pinalagan ko na rin po.
Okay. Sana ikaw ulit next time. Natuwa ako sa'yo, yung confidence. And you were able to prove it. Congratulations. So proud of you. King Kong! King Kong! Alam mo, nakakatuwa kasi yung parents mo laging nandito. Front, laging nasa harap. Wala pang tao, nandun na sila. Sila kaagad. They dedicate their time to you. Now, ang susunod na laban nyo, kontra sa Falcons APBren. Ang binoto ng ating community as star match of the week. Meron ka bang prediction na mangyayari doon? Can we get your prediction? Prediction.
Hindi ko po alam. Parang hindi hirap i-predict eh. Malakas din po kasi yung Bren eh.
Best of 3.
2-1 daw po, sabi ni Brusco.
2-1. Okay. Meron ka bang mensahe para sa kanila kasi inaabangan to ng ating komunidad? Star Match of the Week to. We're really looking forward to both of your performances. Seeing that you're undefeated and they are the world champs, ano ang message mo sa kanila?
Sa Falcons APBren, good luck sa inyo. Bibigyan namin kayo ng magandang laban.
All right. And now it's time to announce the MVP of game number 2. Can I hear some names? Ano ulit? Ano ulit? Okay, unanimous to Walang rehearsal to. Ano ulit? And let's take a look at the screen. Natuwa ako because first time na isang name lang ang sinisigaw ng lahat. King Kong! Alam mo, masanay ka na talaga na ikaw yung ini-interview. Sana nga mag-post ka ng mas marami pa sa social media mo kasi everyone's curious about you. The highlight is always on you. Now, what do you want to say to everybody? Kasi tinan mo, look, punong-puno ang ating venue.
Sa lahat ng mga pumunta, thank you sa pagsuporta sa amin and thank you rin sa mga RSG fans. Thank you sa lahat.
Shoutout mo naman yung family mo.
Shoutout sa family ko, kay mami, kay papa, tsaka mga kapatid ko, tsaka sa pinsan ko.
Congratulations once again. And now it's time to announce our lucky fan who will get 3,000 diamonds. Wow! Excited! Hello, wag ka pa na pa. Wag ka na pa na pa. What's your name? What's your name?
Pia.
Pia! Pia, nakakatuwa ka. Kumikinang yung face mo. Puro glitter.
Nasira kasi yung makeup ko sa CR kanina.
So, nag-makeup ka bago pumunta dito?
Actually, natunaw po yung makeup ko, tapos pumunta po ako kasi po may interview daw eh.
Sino ba ang gusto mong i-impress dito?
Actually, si Kurt po, pero wag na lang.
Si Kirk! Si Kirk, pero wag na lang! Kirk, bakit buwink-wink ka na? Okay, ayan, tumabi ka sa kanya. Tumabi ka! Sabi niya, ano ba? Okay, ayan. Bakit si Kirk?
First time ko po siya kasi nakita nung nasiminana pa po siya. Tapos nandun po siya sa may baba ng bootcamp po nila, dun sa may McDonald's.
Sa baba ng bootcamp, sa may McDo, ba't ka nandun? Inaabangan mo ba?
Hindi po, pero nagkataon lang siguro.
Okay, anong gusto mong sabihin sa kanya? At gusto mo ba sabihin kung bakit bigla kang humanga sa kanya? Yung abilidad ba niya?
Kasi before, naging admin ako ng Hinana.
Oh, okay. So, anong gusto mo sabihin sa kanya ngayon?
Ano ba?
Pagkakataon mo na.
Wait lang, na-speechless ako doon. Nonchalant po siya.
Nonchalant talaga siya. Hindi, ganyan lang talaga siya. Kahit ako nagtataka nga ako kung anong iniisip niya minsan eh. Okay, anong gusto mo sabihin?
Sa bawat game at mga laban na makukuha niya at ibigay niya lang lahat ng best niya at sana maging OA na rin siya.
Sana maging OA ka na. Anong gusto mo sabihin sa kanya?
Thank you sa suporta. Sana patuloy niyo suportahan yung Onic.
Single ka ba? Single ka ba? Oh, single! Okay, magtabi muna kayo. Mamaya na yung usapan. Okay, bigay na sa akin yung ano. Okay, now you get to hold each other's hand while they take a bow. We're gonna take a bow. Lahat sila nag-hold hands. Huwag mo putulin. Huwag mo putulin. Part to, ginagawa tayo to all the time. Ayan. O, ayan. Magbabaw na kayo. Ayan. Okay. Uy, kailangan na namin i-analyze yung laro. Ayan. You may now take your bow and take your walk of victory. Parang may more than one winner tayo tonight. Ganyan talaga ang ganap dito sa MPL. One lucky fan will win 3,000 diamonds. Malay nyo, kayo ang manalo for next matchup. Kaya make sure to always give your best and show us why you are the best fan of the day. And syempre, we're gonna break it down for you. What happened in that game number 2. So we're gonna go back to our panel. Pasok.
I can't take it, dude. That was way too wholesome. I just want to work. I just wanted to work.
I just wanted to work.
What was that sudden burst of wholesomeness? And Kirk single? Oh,
I did
bro.
not know that, by the way.
Bro.
Thank you for that info, Mara. I'm sure a lot of people are very happy with that. And of course, he is the MVP in game and in real life.
King Kong was a series MVP, but the MVP there is Kirk. That Edith, man, an Edith performance that really just helped shut down again what was another Hellkurt game.
Oh yeah, I really clearly remember the 1v1 that happened earlier, shutting down Light in such an easy fashion. I feel like Kirk definitely deserved that, especially in this game.
Yeah, him being able to find Light there was crucial. Light was just trying to get information, able to make plays on his own. And Kirk, again, his personality, you see it, he's low-key. But the impact in the game as well, he just makes it work. There was I think it was this sequence or the sequence later on in the game wherein there would be an entry by Brusco, but then Kirk beautifully followed it up as well with his own Earth Shatter. Oh yeah, it's that one. It's that one. It's such a great layering of abilities, not just his own, but understanding what his teammates want to do as well. You have the Grok fronting and again stopping every rotation that RSG wants to do. That Kirk's job is to just, hey, follow up the info that I give or follow up the set I give, continue the crowd control, and continue the damage. He went Thunderbelt and Starlium Scythe. Boom. That's how you know that Edith had a really good time. If you can afford to go T-Belt first item and then even build the damage item later on.
Yeah, everything else was like a luxury item right after the
Yes,
Thunderbelt.
yeah, exactly.
Right? Just make sure you don't die. You already have a big lead. And I think that just shows you the confidence and how well Fnatic Onic Philippines actually does mesh well together. Knowing that whoever the priority target is, you don't need that much tankiness if you know that the target's going to go down in a blink of 9. That happens so many times in this exchange.
And again, as we look at the emblems, the focus of that Hellcurt was to just pick off burst. It was built with Master Assassin, just snowball from there. But then it was just stopped by, again, easy anti-Karas rush by the Grok. Stay forward because there's not much the Hellcurt can do against you. And it was even Kirk that dealt the most damage in the game as an EXP laner, as the Edith.
That ain't no joke. I
Yeah,
mean,
this is no joke.
Imagine he was also building tank there, and he still burst out that amount of damage.
Yep, 83% kill participation, more than the gold laner in that Roger, more than the Roam. This is a very well-deserved MVP performance by Kirk with how active he was in the map.
And I think all that does contribute to just how easy it was for King Kong and Kelra to do their things. Especially in the later parts of the game when they were blowing up those inhibitor turrets down on the bottom side of the map.
100%.
You saw that King Kong was going crazy. Kelra dove in behind the crystal on 3 people. I mean, you can only do that if you have so much confidence with the rest of your team that already did their job that they can clean up after.
Again, one of the things that Jushin needs is someone to front for her and hold for her. The Hellcurt can front. The Hellcurt cannot hold. Because you want the Jushin to have a frontliner paired with it that can annoy, that can disrupt. The Hellcurt can't do that as much. Let's say another pairing that we saw this Jushin used by Fnatic Onic Philippines. They went Jushin Jawhead at one point. They go Jushin Jawhead because that Jawhead can stay in the front a little bit, but then at the same time, you can do that toss, do that pickup, and then the Jushin will follow while the Jawhead is still annoying. While the Hellcurt is like more of, I will go in, burst, see what I can do, and then get out.
Yeah, you kind of have to rely on your ability to dodge stuff.
Yes.
You can't tank, because the Hellcurt has ejector shields, right? You have a bit of a
Jawhead,
shield as a Jawhead, sorry. The Jawhead has shields, Hellcurt does not. He just has speed and, you know, vision impairment.
Yeah. And again, tough to do when you're up against a Grok as your opposing roamer.
That's tough.
And then the mid laner, you're up against a Matilda even. So the Hellcurt has speed, then you have a Matilda who has that wide range of focus. It's like, remember before, where in one of the ideas up against, like when you're something up against like a Natalia, you want to pick up like a Rafaela or a Baksha because you have things around it that will either show its location or damage in an area around it.
Yeah, that's right.
With a Hellcurt going up against something like a Matilda, if you can't burst her down, she can easily dash in, then you're going to get hit by the wisps, you'll have vision on you, and then suddenly someone will just follow up.
That's right, and all that contributed to Fnatic Onic Philippines becoming still undefeated with a 6-0 match win-loss record. How about that?
And that makes the star match for this week all the more hotter. Remember, later this week, it's Fnatic Onic Philippines against Falcons APBren. The only team that Falcons APBren lost to is Smart Omega in their very first series of the season, and they did admit they were coming back in with a little bit of fatigue from international tournaments and a little bit of a lack of practice with the more local mindset ideals because the preparation was different for the international tournament that they came from. But now they're up against Fnatic Onic Philippines, and Falcons APBren has been hot. FNOP has been hot the whole season.
This is going to be hot.
I'm excited.
So I wonder if Falcons APBren has fully prepared for Fnatic Onic. Is the streak ready to be broken by none other than the world champions, by the way? We'll have to wait and see. But for right now, who's winning on Fancy Laban? The on-ground tournament that we've been having between the different fandoms of our teams here. Let's see right now. We have the Phoenix Army leading. Apparently they won earlier.
You know what? Good for the Phoenix Army, man.
Good job.
They need all the wins that they can get. Good for them.
Yeah, and again, Aurora's trying to catch up here. Kabarangay's not doing so hot as well. And the Cavaliers and the Bees, you know what? Their fandoms are actually really competitive as well.
Yeah. Phoenix Army, interesting. You know what? I should go into the waiting area.
We
and
gotta watch that.
Yeah, go to the lobby and let's watch some Fancy Laban games.
Let's do that. Let's do that like on a TikTok separate live
Yeah.
something, right?
And again,
Well,
if
let's see
you're
that.
a member of, well, any of these communities and you're from the Philippines, maybe you want to fly all the way from abroad, go to the Philippines and
I mean,
join
why
one
not?
game of Fancy Laban while watching MPL, why not? Message the communities of each team. They are more than happy to give you a spot, as long as there is an available spot, because a lot of the fans actually not fight over it, but a lot of them throw their hats in the name, throw their name in the hat.
And they come hella early, like
Yeah.
hours before. Very.
We will be honest. There are fans that arrive way before we do.
That's right. Like
I'm
5 hours before, 4 hours before. So
Really?
yeah,
That long? I was thinking like an hour or two.
they
man.
hang out. I mean,
They
like 4 hours before the match starts.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Okay, that's true.
So-
That's true. Yeah.
So honestly, if you're like that, if you're an international fan, and obviously we're in English, right? So if you're an
Yeah.
international fan, you came over, please message us. You let us know, and we'll definitely come out and meet you as well, right? So that's gonna be it for the Infinix Game Tambayan. I'm Rockhart, this is Renmar. We'll see you online. We'll see you on social media. Right now, let's throw it over to Mara Aquino. Close it out.
The first day of the halfway point did not disappoint. The Bees recorded the fastest game of the season, and the Super Family added another win to their streak. Maulan man ang panahon, pero umuulan din ng aksyon at kilig dito sa MPL Arena, at siguradong mas marami pa tayong dapat mas marami pa tayong dapat abangan tungkol sa storyang yan. Muli, ako po si Mara Aquino, nagpapaalala to keep it good vibes, everybody, and see you tomorrow.
The 14th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 14. The official tournament phone of MPL Philippines, Infinix GT20 Pro. Official suppliers, EMC Asia and Index Salon. Experience the MPL PH Season 14 action live at Green Sun, Makati City. Grab your tickets now via official MPL PH website. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPL PH on TikTok for more content. And to ensure the equality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusements Board.
Lakas ng Pinas!